to know what is happening more of your to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepan, gradually, my brother to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You wanna get a news update to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, when you back today. Yes, what you back today.
Okay, folks, what a way to welcome you to another edition of the program. This is Spoon Talk. We are back on your radio. We're live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric 101.1 and Super 95.5 FM. Many thanks to our partner radio stations across Liberia that are always relaying the program. Thanks to Trust FM in Bomi County. Thanks to Gibi FM in Kakatama, Gibi County. Trend Radio in Grand Crew, and of course, Premier FM in Bon County. Many thanks to our online audience. As usual, we are streaming live across the internet on Facebook, Spoon Talk Live. That's on Facebook. It's Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. On YouTube, Spoon Talk Live is the YouTube handle. Many thanks to all of you who have joined us from there. And we ask you to kindly share the show as you come on tonight. As you know, this is Liberia's premier talk show on radio and online. Spoon Talk is where you get authentic information about the happenings across Liberia. Welcome again. I'm Nelson Colette, and I want to welcome James Gude Flomo. Welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Nelson, and good evening, everyone. Thank you too. It's good being back here.
Yeah, let me bring Dr. Richardson on. I see our one and only Dr. Richardson is here tonight. Good evening, ma'am. It's good to have you on.
Nelson, good day. Hello, how you doing today?
Hey, you see, mommy, my hair was cut almost 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. You tell me I beg to cut my hair. I paid 35 for the hair pro. I'll beg you.
Next time you have to take the camera there so we can see for sure.
Oh, no, but my mate talking the truth. That true, my mate talking.
Yeah.
All the men here.
I want
they
to
had some SOS call. I think.
You see, wait, this is the place where I cut my hair. You see the magnet, the last 2 times.
Somebody pay and beg you to cut your hair.
That barber goes sleep.
You say,
evidence.
Yeah.
You see the name was talking about bread.
Just cut the hair and say, I get money. The person say, but then I will pay. The person went and pay and they get him the cut. I was there, my man. I'm last thing.
Yes, you must say you didn't even go there.
So, mama, you see the name.
But after the person pay, then he want to arrange with. He just feel like bro, you want to arrange with the people to take the money back. The people say no, we don't do that.
You know what, mom? I check it for my haircut receipt. I get funny. I'm going to bring the receipt for my.
Now he on the defense and you clarify, you call press conference and speak no evidence.
Mohammed, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
That my mate dealing with it, man.
That mame,
that mame. I do not deal with it.
Yeah, he said, very good to the car. Yeah, hello, man. We're so glad to be here with you. we know we're happy to know that you love us just as much as we love you. And thank you for joining us. We ask that you please give us stars. Just hit the star button. There, if you look at the different ways that you can share a show, as you share in the show, you'll see the star button, hit a star, and then we'll get started telling us that you really like us. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's going to be another spirited edition of Spoon Talk. The beauty of Spoon Talk is we never know what will happen. We don't even know we'll start talking about Jane Goodey here. We don't even know. We don't even know we're asking to show us evidence. We don't even know what will happen on Spoon Talk. So that's the beauty of it. Thank you for joining us. Excuse me.
Exactly. It's unscripted, so
Mhm.
there are lots of things that will come up in an impromptu way. But and that's the beauty of it. The diverse panel will have a way of going around it every single day. Yeah. So we're
Absolutely.
good. We're glad to be here today. Interestingly, there wasn't that much of rain today in the country.
Ah,
Yeah. So at least those whose homes were flooded the day before, at least they had today to rearrange and set some things up. Considering the impact of the flood, there were a lot of people somewhere at a church somewhere around the FDA junction, like Mr. Dwalu said yesterday in the church, not knowing how they will even go about the day. But interestingly, it's been a good weather, not so hot, but again, there wasn't that much of rain.
yeah. Thank God for that. Thank God people can recover. People can start to air out or dry out their belongings. So we're happy for that. And we pray that the sun will continue to shine so that the water can go away. Well, as you said, there wasn't a lot of things in the news today. Today is a busy Saturday. Many people are out here on my side of the world just going to barbecue. I'm also actually be doing you guys a little bit early today. As soon as the team gets here, we'll be I'll be leaving because it's graduation season. There, got to go support a lot of the graduates out there. So, but
Yeah.
maybe we can
Yeah,
take. Well, go ahead,
yeah.
Jim. Go ahead.
Uh, Nelson, I'm sure the CDC still carrying on their activity right today.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
activity is still ongoing.
yeah, and the president also released as I'm sorry, the former president. He's once the president, always the president. Yeah, President Weah. The president released a statement. I'm talking about the former president. He also released a statement. Uh, did you see that?
Yes, I did see the statement, but I didn't go through its entire. I just scrolled through that statement, but I saw that he released a statement. There was an appreciation message as well from um the CDC. But this is a 3 days event, so it's today, and then it's going to be climax tomorrow. But I didn't get to capture a lot of what happened with respect to the whole CDC thing today. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let me uh, do a little summary of his conversation he had yesterday with Abraham Gosson Weah of I'm sorry, Weah. We are calling him Weah. Sorry, bro. I added Weah to your name, brother. Uh, Yesterday, or we can better place it than last night. The former president spoke, and I'm sorry, maybe others will not like it. I love to listen to President Weah when he's speaking off script. Yeah, not to be reading.
Extemporaneously, right?
Yeah, when he's reading, we can't get the best of President Weah. But when President Weah just picks his phone and start talking, or having a conversation with him in gathering, that's the time the president knows how to flow. I still remember we had a meeting with him before. I think that was in 2021 or 2022. Yeah, the year end. He had a year end meeting with journalists. There he also flowed. So let's go to yesterday. Yesterday the president spoke just key points. One of the things that he talked about has to do with this. thing that has to do with what's it? What was the right? These people who the president dismissed recently, the 10 new positions. So he talked about it. He said when he came to power, that is when he took over the affair of Liberia back in 2020, back in 2018, he met the 10 new positions, and he tried to temper with them, and the international community said no, you cannot do it. But he blamed the current administration of this disrespecting the laws of the land. He said President Boakai is disrespecting all of the laws that he met. He respected Ellen, and he's not getting the respect that he gave to Ellen during his administration. That is, he provided food for President Boakai when Boakai needed him. He respected Boakai, but Boakai is not respecting him. When he's traveling, they deny him the presidential lodge that he built. He said he's being disrespected, and Liberians are sitting, watching. They are not doing anything. So practically, the president was telling people to stand up and speak for him, so they can allow him to use that place that he built during his administration. He also talked about corruption. He said the current administration has gangsters around him, and that's the major part of that conversation. The president said they will not sit and allow gangsters to override them. Barker and his gangsters should know what they are doing. They are not afraid of them. And we listened to him at the end of the 2023 elections, where he said he was not going to contest. But yesterday he said no. If the CDC picks him through their convention, he will contest. So we should see a Weah again on the presidential ballot in 2029. He's expected to come back. He said he will contest. And the president basically talked about the governance system. He said President Boakai is not the right person to lead Liberia, because President Boakai then told Liberians that he's not worth leading the country. But state people were angry. They voted him, and they are not the rescue people. Boakai said not business as usual, but he believed that business are taking place more than as usual. That's his exact statement. He said the things are happening more than what even happened in his administration. He said things were not okay during though things were not okay during his administration, but Boakai administration is worst. And he said Liberians are going to feel it because Boakai and his team just came to corrupt the system. He managed his 6 years. He said Liberia been there for 171 years. Oh, yeah. So maybe during his time we had different Liberia, but he did not include his 6 years to the age of our country. So he said Liberia been in existence for like 171 years old. Those people did not do well. So Weah did extremely well during his administration. He could not include that, but he said Boakai is damaging the country. He said the country is getting damaged beyond repair, and if Liberians will not stand up and do something, they will not see a better Liberia after this administration. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
He spoke for almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys have the clips, James, because I'm sure when the team gets here, it will be a great
To
thing
play the
for-
message?
Yeah, so can you guys prepare just in case if
Oh, Nelson.
CEO gets here, we can listen to some of it. I don't know if he wants to do that, but just to prepare.
Yes, I have it. If Nelson wants to, that is, if he wants to play it,
you can
Nelson,
you can share that.
you can do the screen recording. I think I posted it on my page. You will see it. I edited it and reduced it to 14 minutes. Yeah, because some of the conversations were not okay. He talked about being in the U.S. currently to watch his son play in the Copa America tournament.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. That's all I can
So,
really say.
I think some of the comments he made were just similar to that of what Chief Siri Allen said yesterday.
So Joey
At
in
the
America right now.
yeah, I know. But
Oh,
what
yeah.
What I'm saying, what I'm saying is, some of what he said, uh, are just similar to the comments made by Chief Sierra Leone yesterday. He too similarly said that this government, the president, has surrounded himself with people who do not have the country at heart. He used some very strong words on those people that the president has surrounded himself with. And he said they're getting ready to expose the government. They were exposed. There are a lot of things that they're documenting that they will get ready to expose the government.
Do we have
And
clips of Chief Sierra Allen as well? Me, I like to hear from the mouths of the people who said it.
yeah, yeah, the
Okay,
clips are here. Yeah, we'll
okay,
get it. We'll get
okay.
it.
That's good. Yep.
If just the
But
audio, I can
one
play the
thing,
audio. I can play a bit of Weah's audio, and yeah, because I did it in audio version instead of
yeah, the video.
Sure.
the video.
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
it. Let the public hear it, and then we can
One thing,
explain.
guys.
The national
Yeah.
yeah.
community that were reminding us to make sure the international community that were reminding us to make sure that we don't break the rules and regulation. They are still there. And we have to respect the laws of the republic. That's what we did. When I was in power, when they tell me that no, this is a tenure position, you cannot move the person until the tenure expires. So be it. That's the law. We can break the law. So I hope that the government will take heed. It's important to respect the law of the republic. We're not a democratic period. So we need to respect the law. All we look for is to respect the law, and that's what we did.
Oh, I come in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's what we did. So when you are angry and you elect the wrong people thinking that they angry and you elect the wrong people thinking that they are the saviors is wrong. You understand? We were in opposition before. If you employ poor people that have the minimum, and somebody come to power and believe that because they associate with other people, they have to be taking on job. This is very bad. That's not good. No leader can do that. You know, and what $50 job, $100 job. You mean the government that come to power that came to rescue cannot even give a $50, $100 job lead a citizen on that job? It is wrong. It's wrong. Everything that they're doing wrong, and we know that. You know, but again, the peace of Liberia is the most important. It's the most important, and that's why we in accordance with the law. You know, this is wrong. People supported the Unity Party. I came to power. I left them there. These are citizens of the country. But you can employ a Senegalese man, and you refuse to employ a Liberian. Is that what it is? No, it's wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a long
Everything
one.
that they're doing is wrong. Maybe the disrespect is wrong. Breaking our laws is wrong. And the old men know that. Waga know that. Waga know that. When we were there, the Waga, we used to go to him, even feed Waga because of his title. You know what I'm saying? Make him comfortable because of a title. But you see what he's doing. You get a lot of gangsters around here thinking that Liberia is afraid of gangsters. It's a lie.
Wow.
It's a lie.
Wow.
So just out of 14 minutes, we were able to play 2 minutes 43 seconds. 2 minutes 43 seconds already give you an entire topic for a whole discussion. He said the current president of Liberia has gangsters around him. So he's basically telling us that Liberia is a gangster's paradise. Yeah,
You know, you are muted, as Richie saying.
you are muted.
I keep on saying wow, wow, wow because
Yeah, that's why we are in gangster's paradise. Like
you know
hit.
I'm sure the panelists hopefully they will have the time to dive into this subject matter and people will present their views and their opinions and we'll hear it from different perspectives as we usually do here. But I couldn't help but to chuckle, Nelson, when the president said that he respected the law. I wrote it down just to make sure. He said he respected the law of the country, and I could, in his last days, the president took a trip for what, 40 something days, if I remember correctly. Was he
Yeah.
respecting the laws then? Did it show us, the permission that he needed to take that trip? How much did he spend, on in terms of Liberian people's money? So I mean, I could go down the list of asking him and others, how, in what way were the laws respected? And this is the problem that we have. People can't just have short-term memory after they leave government and start to ask to speak about respecting the law. We can't
Yeah.
do it. We cannot do that. So that was the first thing I remember. I'm sure that other can categorize in ways in which the previous government behaved in irrespect of the law manner. So, but
Seriously.
go ahead, Nelson.
Yeah, and I think this is just the regular pattern for politicians, especially in this part of the world. It's across the world, but especially here. The political actors will highlight the positives about them, and even if it is black, they will try to make it seem as if it is white, and they will give a blind eye to their own weaknesses, the dark spots and all of that. So and I think that's what it is. But again, I know more analysis will be made around this tonight, but this is just the regular political pattern we've seen over the years with our political actors. Even some of those in government now, they say the worst things about previous administrations. Now they have their own pitfalls. They have, so it's just that I really saying. For me, I think most of this thing with politicians is more like an art. It appears more like an art to me. Like people get on the stage and they play by what, except for theirs is not scripted like that, but they play by that particular role they want to play in that movie or drama. So they go by that. They play according to that. But the sad reality is that the ordinary people will continue to feel the pinch of their games and what I feel, at the end of the day, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he said something very important in terms of, he said the peace is the
Yeah.
ultimate uh, desire of all Liberians. Peace be in Liberia. We don't want to go back to our terrible days of fighting each other and having international peacemakers on our territory. That would be the least that we want to do. We don't want to go putting one person against each other, or tribes against each other, or counties against each other. We don't want that. But on the other hand, we want to respect the rule of law in Liberia. And I go back to, I'm just having flashbacks here, and I'm not documenting anything like going back to doing any research, but I'm just having flashback as to when when what's the Nigerian uh man who he said that, because I'm thinking about this. The man said Senegalese. The person said we're keeping us Senegalese. Remember, he appointed this guy to the anti-corruption. I believe it was
Oh, his
Ndubuzi
name
Wabutike.
Ndubuzi
exactly.
Ndubuzi Wambodiki.
So without due diligence, without doing proper due diligence, there was a big fight in the legislature as to, is this man qualified in terms of his
Yeah.
citizenship? And so now we hear talking about Senegalese in our president, when the past president, appointed someone who didn't do due diligence to check his citizenship, or to check whether he was qualified to fulfill that position. So all of this stuff, like, it's just, I'm getting flashbacks. Like I said, I'm just talking
Yeah.
extemporarily as well, not without any documentation in my head. But so I'm wondering, like, who's talking about respecting the law here again?
Yeah, Weah, Weah is Weah is not a typical politician. He's not a typical politician like Joe Walker, the president of the country. Even Cummings and Weah, we can put them in the same category, like that. They are not typical politicians, right? People like Weah, the way they become successful. Uh, Typical example of him now currently is the former president of the US, Donald Trump. The way these people become successful in politics because they are populist, they look at the situation and speak directly to the minds of the people. They look at those things that are happening and speak to them. We are came to the presidency basically because the people had love for him because of his image, his so-called image. And now he's out of power. We are knows that people in the country are talking about, they are talking about jobs. Some people were fired from their attending positions and so forth. He listens to radio. He follows social media. So he's looking at those things that the public is currently talking about. So as a populist, he would come for them. And trust me, this is going to be the pattern of President Weah till 2029. And if the government will not change, the possibility of we are coming back to power, like the same way Donald Trump has a very good edge of coming back to power, will be very why? Because these people, they know, don't see Weah and say he's not okay. I'm sorry. Populists are very smart. They study the human behavior. They look at the population, what the population thinking on, and just come for it. This statement will resonate with the ordinary Liberians. I'm not talking about analysts and the middle class, no, but the ordinary Liberians will go for Weah's statement. They will say, yes, that's true. Boakai said he was not going to do this. He talked about declaring assets. He did not do this. He did not do that. We see these things happening. In fact, we need someone who will rescue us. And we are now will present himself as the right man to rescue the people again after almost messing up everything in the system. Yeah.
So and good day. You presented this argument before, and I've been thinking about it and marinating on your thoughts. And I like the part about we have been a populist. Okay,
Yeah.
we are when he sold himself to the ordinary people, the people from Nuku Town, the common Liberian. That's how he sold himself during the previous elections. But I think he sold the people a lie, and so sometimes populists do that. But I think Liberian people are beginning to see, if you really, really, and I'm going to bring in Fadiga, if you really, really cared about those people, the people that were from Nukru Town, the people that were, we consider the Irish Liberians, you could have done more for them. Would you have spent time breaking down your home and rebuilding your house and building 40 something, how many, 14 apartments?
No.
I don't know how many apartments he built. Okay. Would you have spent time, spending a lot of time out of the country, 49 days out of the country? Would you have spent time doing that? Would you have spent time, building, I guess he said he built 2 parks.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
opposed to focusing on educating Liberians, okay, leaving some kind of legacy areas of education. What can you tell me what is Weah's legacy in Liberia right now?
So let me tell you something, right? The issue about these people and the entire world, if you do politics, if you study political science, they have a specific place where they tell you that, in fact, the entire world, not just Liberia, politicians in the world now are afraid of these people. They are taking over. The type of Weah, they are taking over the global politics. Even the issue is they know how to get to power, but they don't know how to utilize the power. When they get to power, the real politicians will get there and damage them because they want to prove to the people that this guy think that he's the best, but here he is doing the opposite. We saw Trump today. I think yesterday I was reading on the top 10 worst president in the history of America. Trump is still number three. I was like, wow. And
But
the
good
thing
day,
with
let me just,
yeah.
I want to put something out there. So
Mhm.
sometimes a lot of people are making these comparisons with Trump, and especially since the last debate. I want us to keep in mind that United States has racism as at play, and I'll be blunt.
Terrible.
I'll just tell you, okay, this is a very, very, very racist, institutionalized racism is at play in this culture, and we are paying the price for electing Barack Obama, and this is why you see the popularity of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not abide to the typical one America type policy. Okay, the typical, the America is for the people, by the people, and of the people. He's not. Okay, even the people that are supporting Donald Trump, in the last election, it was all majority white women. His voting block consisted of majority of the white women in this country, which were some people think, but not white women in the inner city, the white suburban white women. Let me just put it that way. And you know why? There's a lot of fear of what would happen if, I mean, I'm just being upfront with you because I've lived here, I know the politics, I study it. What would happen if a black man takes over this country? What would happen if we give black people power? What would happen if we empower black people? And that's the Trump factor. Now, how does that play out in Liberia? I don't see. I see Donald Trump. I mean Donald Trump. I see George.
It plays out in Liberia in this way that I am the son of the soil. You know, we have never, I think we have elected so far natural born Liberians about three, four. Okay, let's say Weah, Samuel Doe, and Boaka three. We're talking about real natural born Liberians there. Somebody will count Ellen and Taylor, but let's leave them out. They are sons of people who came from America. But natural born
What
Liberians,
about Todman? Todman.
huh? Who?
Todman. Todman.
They all came, their parents came from America. Those are children of the settlers. Yeah, those are children of the settlers. Huh?
Padika, how you doing? Welcome
No,
to the
but
show.
the history books thinks otherwise.
Yeah, so we have elected three. Todba, I'm sorry, Do, Weah, and Boaka. So they would believe that, yes, we want to take back our country. You know, several years ago, we used to believe that the Johnson, the Jackson were the one damaging our country. People who lived before us, they said these things that the Jackson, the Johnson, the Nelson, they took over Liberia, the legislature and the executive. But today we have Flomo, we have Yapaulo, we have Kane, we have Seku.
And unfortunately, Flomo, Yaparo, and Sekou, they are the greatest disappointment. They're just as bad as the
Yeah,
Jackson, the Nelson, and whoever else you want to add there. Because
yeah.
and this is why when you say Weah is a populist, this is what is so discouraging. Because if you are a populist and you speak about coming to make the lives of people in Liberia better, the lives of people in Nukutam better, okay, the lives of just the average Liberian better, but you did not do that. People saw you traveling on first class jet. People saw you building homes. You didn't have children party. Well, I mean, I can't speak for myself, but my dad grew up in Liberia. He said as a kid, they used to have floats where they had children parties. Where the president would come out, talk to them. They float through the country of different counties, building their own float. My dad grew up in Cape Mount. He said it was a big thing for all of them. When it was Flag Day, people put their flags outside to represent the peace and the unity, the patriotism of Liberia. But I didn't see unity. It was reaction, it was sedition, it was kaka leka leka kind of song people were singing, muya muya song. I didn't see that. So it is very discouraging and disappointing when I hear someone. I'm not saying he was a bad president. I'm just saying he was right. The peace of Liberia is what we all desire. But when if you led Liberia and you were for the average Liberian, then you can speak. Then I will listen to you. When you tell me I want people to respect the law, Then I will listen to you, and then I will listen to, and I will categorize how did you respect the law. That's how I want to come back. I want you to come back and tell me how did you respect the law. But then just a control rhetorical question here and be metaphorical or also. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I know I'm leaving. I'm going to leave for the guy. Leave you yet, but anyway, for the guy, come on right in.
Well, Dak, I agree with you. If you, I don't know what you're referring to the 10 minutes video, audio from President Weah.
Yeah, James Gooden play a little bit about it. Three or
Yeah, a
four
little
minutes.
bit. Dak, I listened to that video and it's difficult to listen to. It's very difficult. I listened to it. I listened to the honor tune. I listened to those dog whistles that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Dak, when we lost the elections in 2017, a lot of us were discouraged. We thought what we could do, but then one thing was sure. Current President Weah and the entire opposition, they left George Weah alone for over a year. We were frustrated. Some of us were even going after our political leaders. Nobody touched George Weah. George Weah was building a home. President Boycott, current President Boycott did not start even mentioning President Weah, former President Weah, until probably second or third year. Before we even hear one, two statements, never, barely said anything about him until we started to really see, even during the election. It was later on before you started to take out the gloves or something. It just showed the maturity when it comes to politics. Now these guys are getting so desperate so early, and their comeback that some of us thought would have been easy if the Unity Party did not succeed. I think it's something that I don't think is even possible again. Yeah. Not only that they lack the strategy, but for you to be less than 6 months in your tenure as opposition, instead of you going back on the drawing board to recalibrate and be remorseful and understand why the Liberian people denounce you. Their own son that they overwhelmingly voted for 6 years ago, they rejected you. Despite all the money. Look, incumbent president do win election. It's customary around the world. Most incumbents win election, especially for a populist president. But until this, for these guys to not be sitting down, licking their wound, being remorseful, to come by and think or call what happened to them or setback, I mean, it just shows how naive and irresponsible they are when it comes to politics. I don't think they understand the magnitude of what they are dealing with. For 6 years, this town was so noisy. There were division, the creator of court. I saw reputable individuals. I saw well-intentioned, educated Liberians come on a place that were reduced under the sycamore tree, that you have to wear that funny regalia and be under the sycamore tree to prove you got to do blood or all kinds of sacrifice, prove your loyalty to the Messiah for you to be allowed in their midst. Country. Say why you can't about Ellen. They survived under Ellen. Even if they were not, Ellen knew how to wheel and deal. Those guys put the country in an extreme corner that even people among them wouldn't mingle with other people. I have friends who've been in the CDC. It's not ancient town. They don't want us to talk about it. We used to come in the town. My own friends will not come to see you. When I stay in the Bella Casa, most government officials never come to this place. I had to start going to Mirek Plaza before I would see some of my friends in government. They always behaved like they were busy. People here, everybody know the story. For these guys to sit down and think, where did we go wrong? The next thing that they did was the president, he thinks that they're smarter than the people. He decided to carry all these multiple vein projects. And why did he carry all the? There were no input from the community. There were no feasibility studies. They just jumped out. It was a means to loot the country. They talk about, oh, I think they need market store. The people need market store. So you know what? We pay market. So man Kotati that used to be selling on the road, that all the people were coming to that used to sell it on the road. They created these big market, beautiful market to quantify. Oh, you see it? The best president since 1847. They're building market store. The people, guess who are sleeping there now? Zogos, those challenge you this way the people go to congregate to use drugs because they never created the proper mechanism to safely transition the people. The people are still on the streets. Go here, there we go, or red light. They're still there. They did all these things with all proper plan because you know what? They overprice, overspend on these vain projects. Market needed, park needed. For how much are they spending for these things? The money that they were using for this thing. The president was building horses for individual. Can you imagine in America, if that was sustainable, the greatest country in the world, everybody would be in horse free. We don't have healthcare. So if you can't do it for everybody, you can't just do it for nobody. So when you start tribalizing the country, start to southeasternize the country, start changing the makeup of the Supreme Court, it's God that helped Liberia. It's God that helped Liberia because the level at which these guys were carrying the country, had they continued for another 6 years, I pray we would have had a redo or 1990 because this country was, look, let me close on this. There are a lot of people that are hungry in this country. But I'll tell you one thing that the people are happy with. They are happy that they are at peace. The country is less noisy, even if they're not taking pay. There's this air, there's this sense of freedom. Like people were choked, they had their knees on our necks for 6 years. People couldn't move, they couldn't breathe freely. Even the traffic all in the country was extreme. I'm telling you, there is that sense of relief in the country, and people can live with that sense of relief than anything else. And I think that what like Prince are
yes. Okay, so
they should just keep their comeback.
Yeah, that originally I want to make some corrections regarding what Fadiga said.
Go ahead.
Yeah, basically, Fadiga made us to understand that when Weah became president, the opposition was silent until maybe in the second or
no, not the opposition, the political leaders.
The political leaders. When
I'm talking
about the arrowheads. I'm talking about the arrowheads. But that is contrary. I was in Liberia. I reported on the opposition, I reported on the government. What President Weah in recent history, let's say from early time to now, President Weah is one of the leaders who first year was marked with protest. I'm coming, bro. You were in America. I was in Liberia. I was in the ring.
I mean, we were leading the protest. We were organizing.
I'm just telling you. I can't name the protest that took place during Weah time when Weah took over. When Weah took over in the first year, we had the missing money, the missing 16 billion, right? The protest. That fateful day, we were in the ring. The current president, he spoke about it, and that was in the first year of President Weah. Comey spoke about it. Bernard Ure spoke about it. In fact, that paved the way for the collaboration. That paved the way for the opposition community to come together. We're not talking about June 16. I'm talking the state protest. Let's just stay with the missing money, where thousands of Liberians jumped in the street, where we had to spend over an hour marching with them. I had one cell phone that was donated to me by one of my followers then that got damaged in the ring. That protest took the government by surprise, and the 16 billion narrative almost crippled the entire Weah's administration. It took them off target. The government was confused that they started to make conflicting statements, which led to the United States all coming in to help with the audit. That was one of the terrible protests that the government was faced with. Before we come to Costa's protest, that was in 2019, as it right? Yes. The state protest was in 2019, so that's 1 year, 2 years. During that state protest, Bernard Ure publicly told Liberians that we will take back our country. We want our country back. I was on that interview. I was on that interview when he made that statement. It was through that protest that today we have Darius Dillon as senator. It was during our protest day that the world knew Dillon because they sold Dillon. Costa and others sold Dillon on that day to say this is the man who will help to put this government's feet on fire. So we as administration from the very beginning, the first year after his inauguration to his third year was marked with protests all over the country. I was there. I provided coverage to it. I can bring
Okay.
videos of these things that I'm talking about. So
All right.
yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Isaac, I see you doing, I don't know, fatherly or husband duty or wherever, but you got in your usual position. Welcome to the show. I knew you had to come when you heard us talking about your president.
No,
You
no.
had to go ahead.
Yeah, so it's nice being on. I'll actually be in and out because of my location. But it's a learning place, a learning environment. Spoon, that's what I always like Spoon because we just don't give information. We also teach. We give out knowledge as well. I know we had a lot to this that was already said, but a few things with my brother Fadiga. I was there. I know when you hustling to get something, I know how it can be like. Like the hustle can be real. The hustle can be tough, and so you got to push, you got to push, you got to push. That's okay. But sometimes it's good to live on Earth because the only planet that we can live on is on Earth. You don't have to go to Mercury, you will die, or Pluto, or wherever it is, Jupiter. Fadiga, please come back on Earth. I beg you. You were listing all this sweet, sweet, plenty thing, all those imaginary stuff. You support President Baka. I'm not sure sometimes you forget that President Baka being in government some 50 years. I don't know. You can be forgetting about these things. Like, it's so funny. You can just speak like this sweet, sweet thing, just talk sweet things. I'm not only being anything for 50 years, brother. So all the time you're there for 50 years, everybody were eating cow meat, everything was good, all of the roads, the horses. And to the listeners, Fadiga speaks for the government. Everything Fadiga says should be things you should take into consideration as important. My brother said, and that's the policy of Unity Party, that as a government, if you cannot do it for everybody, don't do it for nobody. If Fadiga, you are a great man. So we know that the government will not be able to help every flood victim in Liberia. So no flood victim should expect help from the government. We know that the government will not be able to create jobs for every Liberian citizen. So no Liberian citizen should expect to get any job as the result of the government's policy. We know that the government will not be able to protect every single person no matter what. So you should know that the government will not be able to protect any Liberian. Fadiga, you are a good man. I really want a government that will not be able to do everything though, but that can be able to do something. That's why some of us support Josh Weah. That's why we will always do. Because he couldn't build houses for every 5 million plus Liberian, but at least he built some houses for some Liberian. That is a good thing. He could not connect every home in Liberia to LEC, but you know what? At least he connected up to 800,000 homes. President Parker, it is sad that we're hearing this from your mail you sent on the platform. We knew this all along, that this government could not be coming to do anything. You cannot build all of the roads in Liberia. Not possible. So we now know that the government will not build any road. Because one, you can do it for everyone, don't do it for anyone. This is the stark contrast between UP and CDC. We believe in step by step improving the country. Unfortunately, Unity Party does not. Thank you. And just before I end, or that reason you were saying something, I just wanted to, educate me a little bit. Maybe I was wrong. You said I was talking about President Baka breaking the law, and President Weah was the one who traveled. He spent 48 days there, and he was breaking the laws by traveling. Is that somewhere they said that when you travel for like 100 days or 50 days, then the law is broken? Is there some part of the Constitution? Maybe I really didn't know. I was trying to check.
Thank you for asking, Isaac. Though that's a wonderful question. But as far as I know, our Constitution requires that the president get permission from the legislature before traveling for that amount of days
Okay.
for the country. And I do not believe, if I remember, there was a serious argument. I do not
No.
believe that the president was very sincere when he requested that the legislature give him such permission. Second, the budget, the money in which he spent when he was away from the country, to me was detrimental to the Irish Liberian, because here it is, he was getting all of this amount of money, all of this per diem, where the Irish Liberians were suffering. Okay, even though he didn't have but they need proper permission from the legislature, or they informed. And that's what I was speaking about.
Oh, so but once they were informed, then it's not a breaking law, right? You agree to that, and also.
Well, I can track that. I said, Dora, I can track that for you. But there was a serious argument about it. I believe he went about it wrongly. He did not inform, nor did he ask the legislature to travel. I know we had a big discussion about that in Liberia. A lot of Liberians are concerned. How is it that a president of their country was supposed to be home addressing the needs of Liberian people, especially when he was elected to work for the Irish Liberian? He wasn't there. He was gone for 49 days. What president in the world goes for 49 days? I said, so what the question a lot of Liberians are asking. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah, no, that I'll just get it clear. That part you say we can talk about it. But the main thing I wanted to find out is if you travel for 100 days, then you break the law, like certain part of the law. I understand.
Yes, he broke the law. If you're asking the question, is yes, he broke the law. Yes.
But by traveling for
yes,
100 days,
without properly informing the legislature that he was leaving, he broke the law. Yes.
Which part of the law now? Like which one of the
Constitution? I think you're taking us in a spin here because you enjoy doing that.
No, I just wanted to clarify something. You
want to take me off. Me holding my view that you broke that President George Weah broke the law.
Okay, that's your view.
You're not going to do that because I don't have the specific law for you, but I can research that. It's very easy to do in our Constitution. I can call people in the legislature to give me that if you want that, but I'm not going to do that today because I know you want to present to your people who's watching you as that you know the law and I don't know the law. But the fact is, your president, George Weah, broke the law for not getting or informing the legislature properly when he was supposed to do that and left the country.
You're right, Dr. Richardson. Don't mind.
All right, yeah. Once you say it's your view.
No, it's not my views. He broke.
No, it's not
law.
View. As it's reality. Stop.
Oh, he broke the law now.
Let me tell you what else he did.
Laws were broken.
In fact, welcome.
He abused his authority. He abused it.
Okay, let it look. The
You
real
know what
Isaac
the
is here,
fuck
man. Let it
people?
think. You can hear me, Francis? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Very
Real
correct.
Isaac is here. Let it fake Isaac be quiet. All the talk he talking, let it be on the side.
Yes.
I just want to make this cameo appearance to let you guys know all is well. I just been extremely busy, especially. I mean, look, you guys doing a good job. Keep doing it because all the people I'm meeting here, they're praising the efforts that Spoon is taking, the network is taking. All of you panelists are doing to help bring information to the Liberian people. They vex with me for not coming on, but like I said, I'm extremely busy. Well, I just going to let people know that, look, this is the show. This is where information comes. Yes, they are supposed to question it because it's important to have your own perspective and your own understanding of all this information that's coming out to us and also how panelists interpret the information. So all those things are important factors of how we communicate with people, how we share information, the positions we take, and everything like that. So I'm just excited that the show goes on. People are contributing to the information sharing, the information giving that a lot of people will not have otherwise because people are trying to see and a lot of things are being unraveled with this information But some people think this is limited to just CDC and Unity Party, but no, it's way beyond that. This is about our country, and these issues are issues that will sustain and persist over time. So it's therefore important that we all look at these things and be able to understand why things are happening. You know, when you look at some of the situations and some of the things that people do, you wonder about the sanity of some of the people. You see some videos with the flooding, with people rolling over in that flood water. And it's just sometimes you wonder if our people are normal when those kind of things happen. That somebody would tell you that, or polluted water, you should go lay down and roll inside. So those are things that we really need to challenge. We need to change the mindset of our people. We need to, for those who are knowledgeable and understand, they need to keep communicating. Keep communicating. We can't give up. Everybody is not on the same page. Everybody is not on the same level. But just having this kind of platform where we can share information with people is wonderful. Francine, I know the summer is going good for you. You're on vacation. You're doing a lot of different things. Fadiga, I've been seeing you getting versed and getting happy. But look, this is how things will be. Good day. Keep frustrating Mr. Azedo, yeah, because Azedo can come up with some funny thing. I don't know where he not disappear to again. But folks,
He go for
consultation. Just go ahead. So I'm at the back listening. Just go ahead, enjoy yourself.
You the back listening. Okay,
Yeah, just go ahead. So,
because that last thing you said just now, I was concerned. If you got to build, if you can't build all the road, you will not build one road. I mean, what kind of reasoning is that? Maybe you need to clarify.
Ask Fadiga said it. I was only going to what Fadiga said.
Yesterday, I'm right here. He just thought everything I said.
Look,
Fadiga said it. I was only going to Fadiga. Ask Fadiga.
I know that other reasoning there, where it come from, right?
Fadiga,
at the end of the day, a better Liberia should be the priority. And for me, you know, as much as some things are not going like I want it to be, I will still encourage and support the people in this government who are trying to do things. There are some people in this government trying to make things happen and trying to, somebody said me warn you, you better leave my friend Azedo alone. Jesus Christ, Azedo, all got friends, all my friends. It's tough.
Yeah, because I'm saying the right things, and you are saying the wrong
friendship. If any of my friends had told me again, I would get vexed with that. So,
and let me go back. I just want to quote to you or to tell you that NAMUT, which you know is a civil society organization like Bureau, said that President Weah, his absence for a period of 40 days is a violation of the government of Liberia revised travel plan 2016-2017. And I don't know if you want me to go into it, but it was educated.
Just drop the law in the chat room. Let him read it.
Exactly.
You share all the information. Don't waste your time.
The president is supposed to travel and then return to the country to get permission to go again. You can't be in flight. Come on. Isaac, you know better than that, man. It was established. Probably Francine couldn't remember on time. But no, the issue
so if you're feeling enjoying your rescue small things,
the issue,
you please tell me the law that say when you go out for 200 days, then you break the law. You tell me. I want people that already said that.
Just say what the law is. I say you're not listening.
No. She said never. No, the most social society. I'm civil society, not the law now. I say law. You say no. I got my opinion. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. President Boyka going to Ghana.
Come on the show, man. My man, cut the man off from the back, man. Let the man come on the show.
President Boyka going to Ghana while Liberia is thinking it's a violation of the law. I can tell you it. So
I'm not talking that'll be your opinion, but I'm
so that is your opinion. Everybody talking here.
Hold on. An ordinance, okay, is an ordinance is a law that was created 2016, 2017.
You are comparing two things, Isaac.
Please try to send us the ordinance.
Isaac, you are comparing optics and you are comparing law. It looks
Oh,
bad
brother,
when a country
please.
is in on dire straits. The leader is not supposed to leave. That one I agree with. When Ellen left during Ebola, some of us were making a lot of noise on her.
Yeah.
Okay, when leaders leave in critical times, Weah did it during his term. Several times Weah left. I think COVID and something else. He left and went somewhere. Yes, the citizens will demand the presence of that leader. But to go in an extended stay, that's a violation of the law. That's not optics. That's two different
Exactly.
things.
And you didn't tell what you are going to do. I don't even know. I'm
Yeah,
not even going to argue about that.
you're
You say you are going for peace.
you're still
Can I
doing rescue,
respond
you're
to
still doing
Isaac
rescue team.
Giselle lies?
I beg you. And
Isaac
President
Isaac,
Weah.
can I speak? You better
No,
speak
yeah, I
on
come in. No, you know, I'm somewhere. Justin, if I would tell you that I appreciate that the president left the country for a longer time, no, I wouldn't appreciate it. If
Thank
I
you.
were to advise, I would advise something on it.
Thank you.
But it is just far from any talking point to say that certain law breaking when we were there. And no law tell you that when you go, if a thing is morally wrong, it's different from being legally wrong.
That was
Morally
illegal.
wrong is based on people's
Illegal.
opinion.
That was
And your
illegal. Take my
and
word
your
for it.
what-
It
like
was
I keep
illegal.
asking you to help me learn. I'm not here. You
I'm
said
trying to
people
tell you,
opinion, people
ordinance
view.
of 2016,
Try,
2017,
try
they're
to
not a law.
send it,
Ordinance is not a law.
now. The
The
one that said
travel
when you travel for
ordinance.
45 days,
The
that
travel
you
ordinance.
won't.
Mr.
What?
Kennedy, welcome to the show. Thank you.
But travel
I
ordinance
think
at war now.
Thank
Where is
you.
it?
Thank you, Dr. Francine.
Can you
travel
find it?
ordinance
Where is
2016,
it?
2017 in
All right.
Liberia. It says
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
you
saying
broke
now.
the
Can you
law.
find it and share with us? Share in the chat
No,
room.
I'm not going to do that. You do your lesson. You say you're educated, maybe Ohio.
No, they
You're
want
a deputy
the
director
government.
at football
Yeah,
ministry.
they
So,
want
yeah.
the please find an ordinary bringing for us.
No, I'm
That's
not
all.
going to do your dirty work, please. Okay,
All
let's
right,
welcome
President
Mr.
Boycott
Kennedy.
traveling is against the travel ordinance from 2013 to 2014.
Okay, that you're talking
He's breaking
for
the law.
day. You started that talking for yesterday. You started that talking for the
Let's
day.
talk things that are backed by
Mr. Kennedy,
fact, not just opinion here.
No, I'm backing
Not at
my
all.
stuff. I said, though, you know, I come on this show. One of the reasons why you ask me questions, because I'm not a typical politician. I will back everything by facts, okay?
So share with us the ordinance. That's all I want.
I'm going to do your daily work for you. You see, you're a deputy minister. You also tell you're a banker, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, Mr. Kennedy, welcome to the show.
Isaac, give your friend a chance to talk to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francine.
I said, yeah, it's the law.
I'm just sitting there and listening.
Okay, no. Paul, I want to interrupt you, Paul.
The law there, Liberia.
I said, yeah, it's the law.
Wait. The seal of Liberia.
No,
the law.
Isaac, stop this. You can't just keep feeding the people ignorance. The thing is clear. You're not going to go beyond 7 days. It's right there. There's the ordinance right there. I sent it in the room just now. They may pick a link, pick the link. It's limited. You can't just travel like a president. You say 100 days. No, not even 8 days.
The limit is
7 days. 7 days. Okay? Don't be finding an excuse for a job we are, man. They may screw up. Y'all forget about it. Y'all go find Fonati Kofa or Sir Joseph will be your leader.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Kennedy, please
sorry,
welcome.
Paul, you're saying something. I'm sorry. I'm just excited to be back. I'm here for a short time because I'm at the CWA Global Alumni Association.
Yeah, I saw you wear different outfits.
Oh, you saw my outfit, eh? It was not easy last now.
Yeah, Mr. Kennedy, please go ahead.
No, I was just saying hello to the panelists and to the Liberian people who have been following us all the time. Welcome to Spoon, and I'm really very excited to be here, especially to see my man Ava for a while. I'm seeing here, I can only hear him.
Oh no, I'm disappointed in you, my man. You in the country, you don't reach to my house, you don't call me yet. I don't know what kind of man are you.
Godfather, sorry. You know, when you come back, you got to put your foot down.
That's not true.
That's what I've been trying to do. I just got my driver's license renewed today.
Are you serious?
Yesterday, yeah.
Wow.
I just got my driver's license. I just received it in the mail. So it's been holding me from going to many places. I can't drive without a license.
That's correct. Now you're like, bro.
So, but even in Liberia, look, Dr. Francine, I'm a law-abiding Liberian. When I ran for Senate, I ran because I said, you see, I have a valid Liberia driver license. Valid. I don't drive in Liberia without license, even though I don't drive myself most of the time. But I make sure anybody who drives me around has a registered driver license.
Somebody came to ask me to use my car. Then ask them, the person who you have driver license? And then when you drive, I said, but then you're not getting my car. Until somebody who is driving you around comes with a valid driver license, I'm not giving you my car. So somebody said, oh, they my business now under the law. You cannot drive without a license. The law is the law. And you know, I overheard the conversation about presidents traveling. Whether it's George Weah, whether it's Omen Bwakai, the presidents in the developing country must travel to be able to mobilize resources and, you know, to come back home with it, right? What I think will hurt the economy is for a president to leave for more than 2 or 3 days. And some people putting it up to 7 days. I will put it up to 2 or 3 days, because every day the president travels, he spends nothing less than $10,000 a day. Do the math, calculate it. The finance minister or the foreign minister of foreign affairs can travel and pay $1,000, maybe $2,000 a day. When the president travels, he does not spend less than $10,000 a day, and I'm talking about United States dollars. I was looking at the annual budget.
But Paul, you're talking about only one person. What about the whole delegation? It's expensive.
No, I'm putting it to the delegation because I don't have the data, right? So I'm expecting that the president travel with at least 5 or 6 persons. I'm putting it to the delegation. Yes. So if president travels, the president does not spend, and I'm talking about the president as the institution, not the president as the person, right? So when the president travels, the president is on the minimum, he spends $10,000 a day. Whereas when an individual minister travels, in fact, depends on the caliber of minister. When senior ministers travel, their travel budget per day is at least $1,500, which is 10 times less than what the president spends. So if you ask me to give you a preference on who should travel more, I think it should be these designated ministers to travel more than the president, because the president has security implications when he travels. They have, you know, a whole lot of things. I was looking at the annual budget and I saw this very embassy. Imagine the embassy in Switzerland, Geneva, where most of the things happening. The annual budget there is $139,000. $130,000 of that amount is on personnel costs, and $9,000 is for goods and services. In Switzerland, an average person like me in Switzerland would spend at least $250 a day. And when I go in Switzerland, I don't live in Geneva. I live in a city called Lausanne. So you got to get on the train that is at least an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 45 minutes to come downtown Geneva. That place is very expensive. Imagine a government allocating $140,000 the whole year to operate its embassy in Switzerland. You should just know that government not going to get any kind of arrangement done. The reason why the presidents travel is the presidents are honor supporting the embassies. Let me make this clear. The Liberian president don't see the Liberian government. Let me reduce this from being the president's way up there. So let me say the government, which is the wholesome. The Liberian government, most of the Liberian government don't see the essence of foreign service. So as a result, they don't support foreign service. To have an embassy, the whole embassy, sitting down and on an annual basis, you get $139,000 to operate that embassy. Maybe I'm reading the budget wrong. I need to take my time to go back to read it, because I did not believe what I'm seeing, right? So that's why the president is always traveling, because the embassies are not supported. If the embassy is supported, these embassies can do most of the work that the president is traveling to do, a lot of the work. How many times you saw the American president in Liberia? But the American president is working in Liberia because the American embassy there is very well supported.
That's right.
Right? So our people should begin to reinvent the wheel. Let them see what's happening. They should stop reinventing the wheel, my correction. Let them see what other countries are doing to step into that to help our people. I mean, our people are suffering. Today I saw Liberia and some of the flood there, the water still going down in other places. Yesterday, the water almost carried some people's houses. These people are suffering. The National Disaster Management Agency, I don't know whether I ever went around. It is overwhelmed by what's happening in Liberia, because I need to even check what their annual budget is and to see what the government is supporting the National Disaster Management to do. So there's a whole lot of things that we can that's going on, and we should not just pick on one instance. Oh, the president travel is spent 40 days, he travel is spent 50 days. If they were doing the right thing, they would not even be traveling. They need to take the presidency and make it an institution and stop making it about a person. The presidency is not a personal thing. So I just wanted to throw that in there and say hello to my friend Good Day. Good Day can go there and be talking trash about me in the chat room.
No, but you made some good points, and you did some factual. Let me be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of them you brought in disinformation and so forth.
So you fact checking me, at least Donald Trump can lie more than me. At least I know that one.
That's a good one, Lord. That's a good one.
Yeah. Because just to do a little touching on what you said, all what you said, they are all okay. Embassies are to be careful. But the reasons why presidents travel, because they are head of the country's foreign relations. Okay, so when a president is traveling to an occasion, and a minister traveling to that occasion, or an ambassador, the president's presence will bring a higher magnitude than the minister. Yeah, not in all cases. Now, sometimes president, yeah, I agree with you, they need to stay. But most of these places, we need our leaders to be there. We need presidents to be there to have conversations with their counterparts. Sometimes it's impossible for ministers to really get the best out of a president of another country compared to leader. Yeah, but I think it's okay. They need to do well, but it's good for the head of the foreign relations to always be to some of those occasions, like the ECOWAS, the UN, and other international assembly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look, the point Paul raised. Can I just share a screen for a second, just so we can look at something?
I don't think you'll be able to though.
But and Good can get the permission.
No, I'm not in studio. I'm like you.
But what I wanted to share has to do with the budget. Paul raised a great point about the budget for the National Disaster Management Agency. This is something, the whole flooding thing, hopefully we can get ahead of it at some point, but right now they need a serious interagency effort. But just let's look at the people budget. The budget for this 2024 is $2.228 million, right? Out of that amount, $728,613 is for operational stuff, mainly salaries and then fuel for vehicles. Can you imagine $1,230 for fuel and lubricants? For the electricity is $7,382. For repair and maintenance, though, is $119,000. So I don't know if that repair and maintenance that a car where they only buying $1,230 gas for, or that's something different. But what catches my eye is the non-financial assets. And under that, the sub-line item is other fixed assets for $1.5 million. What are they using that money for? It is allocated only to Bond County. So why are they allocating $1.5 million to Bond County? So those are the kind of things in the budget that sometimes I don't understand. Let them tell what other fixed asset is. After that, that's the end of the budget for these folks, So it makes no sense to me, except they can break down what these other fixed assets are and where the money is going to. Because it makes no sense. Was there some calamity or some, disaster in Bond County that they got to spend $1.5 million there? Or are they constructing something? Or what is it they do in Bond County? So if you look across the budget in general, that's why I have always asked for a zero-based budget. The budget as currently constructed is inherently not transparent and, in my mind, inherently corrupt. So they have to look at it. It's about the allocation, where you start from the big picture. How much you're giving this area, this area, this area. Then how you break those particular dollars down. But, it's so frustrating because what are we in June and we're just getting the actual budget. So when do we ever really get the understanding to preempt some of these things that if you make enough noise that they can change. It's tough.
Yes, like you said, right? I know you guys going to talk about the budget, but uh, I don't know. It's hard to say. Let me just leave it that way. But I think one of the best things that people can do is to pressure these people to provide their institutional budget. I think that will make us to understand how they spend their resources. But these are just item minds, a budget line. They just named them. That basically, when you look at the legislature, damn, like the few and lubricant you talk about, they have about 1 million. What are they going to do with that? They're going to get fuel and buy gas and things for themselves within 1 year time. 1 million. Like last year, they had about 500,000, but now it's 1 million. I'm still here wondering. But anyways, I don't want to talk about the budget because it's frustrating. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, a lot was said. The U.S., I like to compare because most of our things mirror after the U.S. The U.S. has a lot of different organizations like FEMA, the Red Cross, all of different other agencies plus non-profit organizations that help in times like these. In Liberia, this is what baffles me, and where I sometimes get annoyed. Liberia is a tropical country. Rainy season comes every year since we were born and we all live in this country. Those swamps have been swamps since since they were created, since God put it on earth. We know all these things. Why can't we be proactive? Other
Well, let me just
countries,
bring some to your attention, Fatiga, not to interrupt you. The swamps have been there, but the rural to urban migration was not there before. Since like from the war and after, there have been more people coming towards the city, especially Morovia. Okay?
that's
And look at Matadi. If you look at the map of Matadi or just the whole Morovia area, many years ago, you compare the geospatial map with the current map today, is vastly different because all the wetlands and the swamps, people are building it and people are still building in it. And therefore, those mangroves that they're taking away to build houses that's supposed to help protect against flooding and be also drainage systems, they're going away. So nowhere for the water to go and then nowhere to take the trash. We're blocking all the drainages into the ocean. Then we get flooding.
I saw the map that you put, and that map, look, we had a president that wanted to build in one of those Ramsar conserve area, one of those wetlands. Liberia, Morovia is filled with a lot of wetlands. We have
You talk about Bali Island, you talk about Bali City or Bali Island.
it's a conserve site. We have different areas that are designated as the mangrove, the marshland that we're not supposed to build in. We have EPA, we have institutions to prevent people. Look, the reason government comes to power, and I was trying to tell Isaac, it's not to confer happiness on every citizen. That doesn't happen anywhere in the world, even the greatest democracy in the world. The government can create those regulations, create those things to protect the people from themselves, and create an enabling environment that people can strive and be better and be the best. But in Liberia, we tend to use politics to drive a lot of things, especially the national agenda. Nobody will want to move people for in our place because they believe, oh, you're taking it for the layout, or at least put in the proper mechanism. If they want to build in a place, put in those things there. I remember I read a book way back about how Israel, the Palestine, where it used to be a wetland, to how the Israeli were able to dredge that area and turn it into urban area. The Arabs are doing it in the desert and turning it into urban area. We know what we have, but these are not areas that people should be living in. Our government allow people to build there. They are afraid because they will probably lose vote or somebody will get mad at them. So they politicize the thing. And the people themselves, they will lash at you, they will hate you. Even me, they don't like, so a lot of them don't like the way I say it. You can call it as it is. I don't polish it, I don't sugarcoat it. I see myself as a realist. So I don't see things for what it could have bend for what it should be. You knowingly live in a place for 18 years. Every year your house, you put your mattress out, it get burned. What are you doing? If the people cannot do it for themselves, look, the reason why I'm suggesting these things is because we have a government that doesn't have money. Look at how much was allocated for disaster relief in Liberia. That's pale compared to other countries around the world. That's little or nothing. Or where is your Red Cross? Where are all these things? So to avoid us getting into this
But Fatiga, nothing allocated for disaster, only salary and that non-financial
that's what
assets.
I'm telling you. So if you don't want to handle this kind of thing, because the reason why the whole disaster thing is just something every year it has become a norm. It's known that there will be flood. That we have an area, it's a tropical place. We have torrential rain around late April to June, up to all the way to August, sometimes leading to September. It is what happens in Liberia and most tropical area. How do we build our homes to meet up with the climate and all those things? We are not doing it. The government not doing it. The citizens don't want it. So we become a lawless country. And we do not put things where there is no city ordinance. People build things all over the place. The place is just messy. It's just chaotic in this country.
We have city ordinance. We have
when people are not abiding to it, it doesn't exist.
Ordinance that's not true. That's not true.
It doesn't exist.
Let me interrupt, Fadiga.
Yeah. After
to have it, when you don't follow it, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Let me tell you, I've reviewed.
Oh no, we got laws on the books. Paul, right?
Liberia has some of the best laws on the books. It's the implementation aspect. Government fails when government becomes selective in which policy it enforce. Especially when you become cherry picking. When you become cherry picking.
That's the problem.
No, if a law is a law, whether it's you or not. Right? You can't say it's not there. No city ordinance because it's not being enforced.
Well, then there needs to be another law to make it enforced.
You need to support the agency that's supposed to enforce it. The laws are already there.
It's the government that's supposed to. But let me end this point. When I went to the Ivory Coast in the early 90s as refugee, do you know what I saw there? Like Yupougon and all those areas that are big urban areas. These people have streets built. City already built, planned, everything with no houses, street light, everything there. In the early 90s, in Liberia, what do we have? Look how beautiful Marshall. Marshall is becoming another dump site because everybody building everywhere is just chaotic. And by the end of the day, Marshall will be no different from anywhere else. So why ordinance? You can see the road, but guess what they are doing into it? So the country is lawless. So when we have disaster, we do not have money allocated for it. The people are not willing to be proactive. Where do you start? Because government is not doing it. That is why when Asedo was saying, I said the government shouldn't do it. Government cannot build home for you know why it is dangerous for the president.
So what is your point? What are you trying to tell us? We have a new government. This government said everything was not okay. What are they doing to make sure that people obey these laws?
Well, that is what we are saying. It is a tradition. It has been normalized. And even my own government that I support, I see them doing the same thing. I'm not saying that it's okay. The reason we are talking about it, the reason we are raising this issue, so that government can do something about it. We're tired of seeing business as usual. This is almost business as usual. It's a recycle of the same old ideas. So if we keep talking at the problem rather than, for me, I'm solution driven. I like to find solution. That's why I'm very analytical. I don't like to just talk about the problem. I like for us to find solution. There are solutions. We know it. But if we keep coming here, they don't want to have this only, we just wasting our time. And then waste of time. I know Senator and myself will disagree because we all know the problem. Everybody here know the problem. But you know why? Nobody wants to solve it because we are selective. But let me close on this. I said do something. I know something. I
Yeah,
said to
Paul.
may mention about something about I say, oh, the government will not build something. So let me tell you something. When you decide to politicize the building of homes, when you decide to weaponize it and use it as a political instrument against your opponent, then it is wrong, because you cannot take the government resources and allocate it for one group of people. You cannot allocate it to one region. That is why if you cannot do it for all, it's easy for you. This is a heavily traveled country. It's a very heavily traveled, divided the country. So if you start building home for one group of people that are either your partisan or tribal people, yes, it is a problem. When you start building group of certain demographics, certain group of people, it is a problem. That is why you have to create an environment that you will do it for everyone. If you can't do it for everyone, create that environment that everyone that can strive will be able to get it. Provide jobs, provide the resources, provide things that the general population can benefit from. But what the CDC was doing under George Weah was rewarding partisans so that in return, those rewards can turn into votes. And that was dangerous for our politics. And look what happened. It didn't play off because he disenfranchised a lot of Liberians in the process. And by the end of his administration, he has southeasternized the country, which was not a good thing.
So look, the point is well taken, but like you said, we need to start talking solutions about some of these things, right?
Solutions.
So we look at this whole, take just the flooding thing, for example. We got the clogged drainages, that's one. We got the enforcement aspect of everything around ordinances, okay? So who comes to the table? It should be water and sewer, it should be public works, it should be the EPA, it should be the Montreal City Corporation, and probably the police for some enforcement, even if necessary, the courts, right? But EPA got to issue that moratorium. They got to say, look, no more building in the swamp. And then we find a way, incentivize people either through agriculture. Since we're saying
let me add this there. I don't want you to lose your strength. People bribe to get houses in places.
There should be no selling land,
no selling,
swamp, no building in the swamp,
Period.
no new people moving there and develop a plan to evacuate these people from in the swamps. You see, these should be protected areas. That's the first thing. Then this whole thing about building itself. You know, some of the commercial buildings or some of the commercial plans, they don't build with drainage. So that causes flooding too. So public works got to be conscious of its coding, you know, the permits they're issuing, how people are building with the drainages and everything. They got a role to play. Water and sewer, they got to find a way to clean all these drainages and then either get community monitors or find a way to monitor who's putting trash in the drainages. Then the city corporation has to come in. They got to show that their own trash management process is effective, that trash would not be put into these different drainages and these different things. So look, there's a lot of work to do, but it has to be collaborative work. Then the national disaster management people, have they identified the victims for this? I saw a post from somebody that said more than 1,000 people homeless. We saw the post from Dwalu, where he was talking to the people in the FDA community. You know, a whole bunch of people there, they don't know what to do. They just totally flooded. What you do, sit up whole night and sleep? Enough chairs for everybody? No. So they need to find some kind of emergency fund. I don't know who controls that fund. I don't see that money in on the disaster management budget. Maybe in the president budget, maybe the projects you can do. So, but they got to find immediate money to try to get
lawmakers to solve the problem.
Yeah, so
that's
let's
not the role. The role should be through legislation, not through
Yes.
execution and implementation.
Exactly.
That's what the executive branch.
So Paul, what's your take on this? Let's move to
Look, so listen. For me to sit down here and say our problem is solution, you know, it just, for me, it has become rhetorical. The people who become director general, executive director, managers, ministers of this agency, they actually know the functions. Some of them do. Some of them actually understand that people are not supposed to build in wetland. In fact, there is a law that any land that is 50 feet from a water line, that land is owned by government. I don't work with EPA. I don't work with the Ministry of Public Works. But how I know that law? Because I want to look for land, and they say near the water base, near any major river, the Atlantic Ocean, any water base up to 100 feet. That land is not for you. I think 50 or 100 feet, I need to find the stuff. You think those laws are not there? Those laws are there. Those guys, the people who are appointed into these various agencies and ministries to run them, they know these things. I worked with the Liberian Red Cross from 1991 to 1998 before I left to come to the US. I was a part of the humanitarian, I was the humanitarian relief coordinator, working, my director was Philip S.B. Hayes, and I was working with Vani Okar. Look, we went to emergency and responded to emergency because at that time, there was no lawmaker going there and responding. These people rather than put emergency disaster management money in the budget, because for them, if they can go to the community and respond, it becomes a political capital for them to win votes. So our issue has become so political that a lawmaker will rather go, what's the essence of building hand pump in the community where you can build reservoir? To build hand pump in the community, the hand pump can last no more than 6 months. In 6 months' time, I can guarantee you, if you have 100 people in that community driving for that hand pump, the cylinder will break in there, the valve, something will happen. Sometimes it's $5 to $10, the people not even able to put the money to it. Why not put a 50,000 or 100,000 gallon up and run a 2-inch pipe in the town and make sure you have stem pipes where people can contain water? Those are simple solutions now. Nobody in the world is building hand pumps. Why are we sticking up to these old things? So some of these people actually understand the solutions, Fadiga. They know the solutions. But if you don't have the political willpower in Liberia, you recommend this solution to some of your own friends who are in government, they will not listen to you. You think people don't know that you're not supposed to build in wetland? They know. You think they don't know that before you build, you got to go to public work to get permit from there so that they tell you what scope of area and how to build a house? They know. These things are on the laws. But of course, if the public work minister does not even empower the people who are supposed to be the inspectors to get out, most of the ministries, I want the minister to get a car. The actual people who are supposed to get on the field to do the work, they don't have a car. So most of the time, their functions are not executed. So I wanted to give out about we don't have solutions. We do have solutions. The solutions have been given on. I've heard talking solution over and over and over. Ask him, he said, now, Raya, how many times did his friends in government take the solution and give them? So this thing is not about solution anymore. It's about the willpower to do the things that people are supposed to do, they're supposed to do to improve the lives of our people. So, I just wanted to throw that in there, Fadiga. I don't think our problem is solution. We have solutions. Liberia has some of the smartest people around in our country and outside the country. You think the broken, all these things they're doing in Liberia, not new. People are doing it everywhere.
We are not starting
exactly. But if you're not in the power to execute it, and some of the people you put them in power, they take the power now. All the good things we're talking, Abba is a witness. Between 2001 to 2017, we said many good things that people are going to do. Those very people got in power, and all of them deviated from all the good things we said. So it's like people just change when they get in power, and then the Liberian people use that, they say, all of y'all the same.
I said, though, yeah, he was part of that. He was part of that. He was in CDC USA. He saw all the work we did. What happened? He got there for 6 years. You shut your mouth, Isaac. 6 years. People doing the opposite of what we got together to do.
We're not on Isaac, but we just want to bring this fight. So I wanted to bring this so Fadiga can know that in a country like in Liberia, where most things are politicized, most things, including JFK. Okay, imagine if the people are politicizing how JFK is run, then you must just know that they have brought politics into everything, right? So if you give somebody an honest solution, the person, first of all, they don't want your idea to be out there. They say, but the Paul Kennedy gave me the idea. When they think work, the Paul Kennedy will take the glory. So we're not going to do it. They step on it and it doesn't work. So if you're not in a strategic position with the political willpower to say, you know what, Mary Bro is always successful in having things happen, but as soon as she leaves, everything she put in power fails. Because Mary Bro always aligned with the political willpower. So when Mary Bro is in certain position, she gets the political support. But when she leaves, because there is no system in the place she served. The place come back as usual. Soon as Mary Bro leave. I mean, we should be able to see this to know Liberia problem. Liberia is one of the best countries. We just need to have the political will to do things.
So let's move to Isaac.
Thank you, my brother. At least you are a good man, you know. And today, no one is making me dance better than Fadiga. And the good thing is, Fadiga is the chief spokesperson of the Unity Party government on this platform.
I am not the chief
How
spokesperson.
nice.
I do not work for the Unity Party government.
You see, look, let's talk substance. Y'all don't make this about the two of y'all. Let's talk
So I'm coming.
substance.
Hello.
Don't distract
I
the
said,
show.
let me just put that out there because for too long,
Fadiga,
you keep saying it. No.
Fadiga, I'm
So
sorry.
good. You can see
I'm
when they,
No, but correctly, you cannot keep that misinformation out there.
No, I'm coming 1 minute. The CEO will be coming on later, right? There are thousands of people listening via their radio and online. So let's allow each other to go. When Isaac says something that is not okay, you can come back. We will give you the
No.
Please.
That misinformation, we can't allow it to be there.
So can we allow Isaac to flow, please?
So let me correct him before you can go forward.
We will come back
for
to
the
you.
record. No. For the record.
You have
I am
just 30
not the
seconds.
official spokesman for the government. Whatever views that are expressed here are of my own opinion. I came on Spoon said last year.
All right, thank you. We hear you. We hear you. You're not a spokesperson for the
I
government.
support the government, for my views are my own.
It's okay now,
Not
Chief.
of the government.
Isaac, go ahead.
thank you, my brother. So you can see the difference between folks from Unity Party and folks from CDC. When they're talking, oh, they are sweet, yama, I can just shut up. Even when you're hurting me, I can shut up. Just as soon as I open my mouth, what happened, my people? Yeah, calm down. Give me a chance. Let me say my own. So again, let me continue. Thank God we have Mr. Barker's chief supporter and chief spokesman on this platform in the form of Hassan Fadiga, who is saying things that Mr. Barker and him discussed. So he is telling us the opinion of Mr. Barker. You know, when President Weah was building the PHP park, he knew that the only people that will be going there will be seditions. That's why he built it. The only people that will go there, that's sedition. When President Weah was coming with tuition-free policy, he knew that the only people that were going to UL, that's sedition. When President Weah was building purple homes all around, Grand Jide, Basso, and Morovia, he knew that the only people who live there, that's sedition.
Isaac, we are on a specific topic. Hello,
yeah, my man. Let me end.
No, we will not allow you now, Chief. This is now what you want to talk. The team is discussing a specific topic. If you don't want to contribute to it, you will when we're ready for general discussion. You can bring Weah or whoever. But I think the team is talking about a specific solution here or situation. Let's go to that, please. Don't forget about George Weah, who we will come to general discussion. Then you will come in. Forget about jumping here. When you come there, I'll talk about Gizibwega, the way I grew up in Gizibwega. The next person will talk about Pastor.
So let me continue now. When President Weah was coming out with YXC policy, he knew that our only seditions will go to school. So Fadiga saying President Weah did this because he was sedition, one group of people, I thought it's a fallacy. Let me remind everyone that we went to an election.
As it ready? Are we discussing election here?
During the election, let me end back. During the election period,
the CEO just called me. He said, when you discussing like that, I should call Paul to disturb you. I don't want to do it. He just told me. He said Paul is the one who knows how to put you in your right place.
Who Paul? Who Paul? Me?
You.
So we went to an election.
Mm-hmm.
During the election, Unity Party came and said, CDC spawning everything, we have solution to fix everything. The people agree. They say, yes, you got solution. They give it to UP. Today, instead of us discussing what are the things being done as solutions, the chief spokesperson for Unity Party is complaining about the problems. The brother confusing Liberians. He confusing Liberians. You did not have any solution for anything, and you say you will bring all of the solutions, bro.
Isaac.
Where were you? So,
Isaac.
in as much as we are a country, the only thing, like I have said all along, this country needs solution, not voice. What I'm interested in today is to know what this government is doing as solutions to our problems.
So what's
I don't
your
want to
advice?
hear problem.
So Isaac, can you please talk about a disaster issue?
So I don't know the school you're going in. If you teach you English, I just told you say we want solution from the government. Now problem. Then you asking me the another solution.
No, you're talking about solution based on your opening statement, because you believe that Weah should be president, but they stole his election from him. That's why you stay angry.
You can say they stole it out of your business. I don't know about that, but what I'm saying is we need solutions to the problems, not disaster. Okay. Fire.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if you're understanding the English.
All right, so thank you. You made a point. We can move to the next topic. So just before we go, I just want to talk one thing. What all of you guys talk about, right? You know, regarding this disaster issue, not just the disaster issue, but the entire Liberian government. In communication, there is a specific course called SWOT, SWOT, which has to do with the strength, weakness, opportunities, and the threat. You have to do analysis of it.
How about the budgeting of strategic planning? Is there communication? How we finish that communication thing now? We in strategic planning. We can use SWOT now. And not in communication anymore.
So I'm coming now, right? What are we?
I wouldn't have yet, man. SWOT analysis. Go ahead. I'm a beginning.
Yeah. So this. What are some of the SWOT analysis that our institutions have? What have they planned? What are their strengths? What are the weaknesses? And what are the opportunities? And were they able to plan for the threats that will come, like what we're seeing today? So I think for our country, for our country to be successful, we need to do these things. And I believe that this is one of the reasons why institutions, government institutions and private institutions in Liberia are not doing well, because they refuse to work with the professionals in these places to make this analysis and inform them. Because the reason why you work with specialists, these people will look at the future, predict the future, and do analysis and tell you what you need to do, what you are not to do, and how you need to put yourself together. When these things are done, you have a wider knowledge about what to do when these threats are coming, right? But our country, like Paul said, people believe that once you are not a member of the Unity Party, no one should work with you. Like, as though it's a professional. If we talk about the finance sector, who in the Unity Party administration will be willing to listen to Az's analysis in terms of financial planning? No way. They're going to tell you that man has sedition. The next person, Isaac, they're going to tell you he's a supporter of Mr. Alice Cummings. Whatever we're going to get from him, he's going to take the benefit, or the population will look at him. So I think we need to start working with people who are specialized in this field or in these sectors, who will come out and do analysis. You know, I'm sorry, but people in Liberia don't believe in analysis. They don't believe in professionals. They believe in politics. That is politics. They believe in people just talking. They believe in people who will get on the radio and use words that they don't even know the meaning. People who will use words that they don't even know the meanings of them. But to work with the professionals, no way. So at the end of the day, our people will die, or they will suffer, and they will not benefit anything. But I'm just predicting, or I'm suspecting something that will happen in the future. I'm not praying for it. What we just saw, or what we are seeing in the next 4 to 5 years, if we are not careful, there will be a reign in that country that people might likely die because of the fraud. I'm sorry, but it might likely happen because we are not planning. We are not looking at this SWOT analysis of it. What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? Or what are the threats ahead of us as a city? Monrovia is overpopulated. We cannot continue to live like that without following the Zoom regulations or whatever. We need to do these things. But if not, we're going to die one day and we will say, oh, if we knew we were going to do it, but we are not listening to the professionals who are telling us now. Yeah. Yeah,
Good
go
day,
ahead.
you made
Okay, so
some good points.
you made some good points, but yes, what I'm seeing here, somebody sent me, right? And it could be wrong. I don't know if it's correct or not. But the person is claiming that out of the budget for the National Disaster Management Agency, the $2.2 million up to date, they have not received a dime. I can't believe that. It's 6 months into the year. How can you say you don't have a dime? But you still
who is
operating.
this person? Do they
I'm
have?
gonna call somebody near.
But
Ava,
Ava, you cannot doubt it. I sat at Enfield, even though they will put the operational budget between 150 to 200,000 on the budget, Enfield never got those money for 2 to 3 years. When they put in the budget,
maybe I crazy. I don't know. But tell me, so that only donor money you operate on, and the money that in the budget that is said they giving the agency, you'll never receive a dime, and then you'll sit down there.
It would never received a dime. One single. I think maybe the high level administration went behind me and got it, but I literally serve as the chief of staff of my boss. So I assign our meetings. A couple of times we went to the Ministry of Finance to meet with the Deputy Minister for Fiscal Affairs, the Deputy Minister for Planning. They say, oh yeah, these are the operational budget. In fact, to the extent that she wrote asking them, please just give me 25% of my money now for operations so that we'll keep the lights above this place on the head. Maybe that money will come the way we're not there now.
So the person asked them, I said, if Minister of Finance Development has not given you any of your allocation from the 728,000, how are you getting paid and operating? We have commitment from UN agency and few persons and organizations from the private sector. Should a branch of government be saying that?
So Ava, the one thing government does is they've been paying salary directly. So the salary portion does not come to the agency. The salary portion comes straightly from the Ministry of Finance into the bank accounts of all of the employees. So the government, when you see that the salary structure, the salary system, government is paying that. Everybody take pay, that's it. But the operational component of the money that's supposed to be deposited in the bank account of the agency to run its operation, to buy gasoline, to buy fuel, to pay, to buy lubricants, to make sure the bus station that those monies don't come. At least not for the 3 years.
No. This is really terrible. I didn't know what that battle.
I'm in the back, but you asked a good question earlier. Paul, how is it that you guys sat there for 3 whole years? Your new money was being put in the budget, but then nobody said nothing. You just operated on your own.
I'm telling you.
Right?
Is that a susu? Is that something corrupt on everybody?
You're operating on a hope that the government. First of all, the government tell you the priority. We're trying to make priority. You don't worry. We'll get us more of the money. I sat there and saw my boss taking money that comes from her pay to buy fuel to run the generator that takes 150 gallons of even more than that. Taking her own money to do that.
Mr. Kennedy, I don't doubt that. I believe you. But do you think that it is right, like moving forward, if you were able to be appointed?
It is not right. But what you do, you shut the institution down because government did not give you operational funds. That's what the leadership is. So they have to take. Look, Liberian people right now, noise don't move anything there. You make noise, they say, oh, if that woman with you just talk for 1 or 2 weeks and nobody will hear anything. So that's why innovative leadership come in. You got to be writing grants. You got to be reaching out to partners. So Ava was right. Most of the institutions, when you hear them saying do not, partners, it's because they are looking to survive on the partnership money. They are looking to survive on the operational funds from donors. And that's one of the reasons why my boss, would now prefer to make noise. Because you stay there to make noise, and the partner hears that there are noise in the institution, they hold back their money. So it's a slippery slope, Dr. Francine. It's a very difficult situation. But these government agencies are very highly honor-supported because most of the money that government projects for the year, for the operation, the government revenue is not even able to generate that money. Imagine they say sometimes the budget is 700 million, but they're not able the LRA, the revenue is not generating 700 million. They come around 460 to 480 to 560 million. That's the money. So you got almost 200 million that the government never actualized in their projection. So at that point now, they recast the budget and they try to prioritize those items that really needs to happen. And at that point, they compromise most of these small organizations. And that's the reality. That's the truth I'm telling you. I mean, call anybody and ask them in government.
No, but from this, I believe what you're saying, Paul, but it's extremely disappointing and sad that, this will be happening. And I don't even know what to say, man. How can people function? So that no services are provided.
The reason why most of these administrators don't complain, you complain, is that, you say, man, we'll give you a job and you complaining. You can't able to make things happen. What happened to your leadership skills? So they will intimidate you. They will frighten you. They will make you scared. So that the reason why they have made me help any institution in Liberia, because I will talk. You cannot tell Paul Kennedy not to talk. Everybody who knows Paul Kennedy will tell you Paul Kennedy will talk. I will talk my rights. You can't put me somewhere, then you tie my hands. Because when that place don't do well, guess who record is going to be involved? That Paul Kennedy records. So,
but at this point, there's a rescue operation, and President Boyka should really look at some of these things. If we can't raise the revenue, then let's adjust the revenue downward and be specific to where it's happening. If we got to make government smaller, let's make government smaller. But this thing is like you're not even functional. It means the government is just a facade.
Government about 90, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know the finance. But let me be conservative with the numbers, between 70 to 85% of government revenue goes on recurring account. It goes to pay salary.
No, I mean, to a large extent, I agree.
It goes to pay lubricants. It goes to pay furniture use. It goes on the recurring account and never go to development. Never goes to development.
Yeah, that's sad.
So folks, Liberia will never get developed. Your money, you know what I said? Out of the 700 million that is casted, about 450, even 500 million is spent on recurring account. You can never develop the country on 200 million. It's not possible. And then
that's why when Mr. Cummings talking about $1 billion in government revenue, people don't want to believe it, but it's possible. It's possible. It's doable. But it has to take will.
Most of the budget. Remember, budget is just a work plan of the money you expect to spend.
Yeah, but it's the law too. It's the law too. It's the law.
Yeah, but before it becomes law, the budget is a plan of how you intend to operate, right? Now, the real thing that matters is not the 700 million budget. It's the revenue that is generated to compensate what you have on that budget.
Right, you want to spend what you get.
Is the revenue base that Liberia has not been able to expand more? CDC did well with it because I think it was 400 million when they came there. They're being able to push it up to 560 million. I'm not sure. We need to check the data to know what they did, right? But it has moved. The needle has moved a little bit, and I think they expanded. But we need Howard University Health Sciences Library budget is $2 billion. I'm not talking about million. I'm saying $2 billion. Just the health science library, the budget for Howard University. Of that amount, I think the actual count is 1.7 billion. That's the money they get. So they got plus or minus 2 or 3 billion out there. It's only. Imagine a college library had 2 times, maybe 4 times the budget of Liberia. And then we send them call
it's sad. We're not maximizing our revenue and generating potential, and that has to change. Hopefully, Double Jala will look at this and really find the reality in what we can do. Look, we look at real estate. How can we be getting only $5 million in real estate revenue in the whole country? What sense does it make?
Nobody paying house tax.
Was that 5 million or 5,000?
5 million for the whole country.
Maybe I didn't look at it. What I saw 5,000.
I don't
No,
know.
not 5,000. 5 million, $5.4 million in revenue. And year over year.
Ava, let me ask you a question. When you get in a keke as a passenger, right? Why are you not paying taxes when you ride a keke?
But that's why we keep saying we need electronic payment systems. We need financial inclusion for everybody. The LRA is losing so much money in taxation.
I'm here, and I don't care whether it is America or not. If Liberia want to do well, Liberia has to increase.
But that has nothing. There are other countries that are taxing every financial transaction in the country in Africa. There's no reason why we can get there.
Yeah, Ava.
You know, yeah. So, and good question, good conversation, guys. But you said something, Paul, that you said, oh, people are fear resigning, and if they are designated a certain amount of money in the budget and they don't get the money, they stay there because they don't want to resign and they are intimidated. Do you think that maybe if people started to resign from government, all right, then maybe the government will get the message that you guys are just put us in a hostile environment? Because you guys stay there, so you are enabling our government to.
Dr. Francine, only few people have the guts to resign from government. Very few.
Why is that?
For several reasons. The moment you resign from government and become vocal, you become a target of government. Let's register that.
That I can understand. I can understand.
I gotta go. I just want to share the additional information. Supposedly, the National Disaster Management Agency will be getting $500,000 shortly to be able to handle this. And just so people know, this is not the first peak of the rainy season. Probably the next month or so, there will be more rains. And then in September again, there will be additional rains. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. I'm just praying that these different ministries and agencies can get together to try to find a plan. And I don't care what will it takes, the people got to get out of the swamp. They got to get them out of the wetlands, because it's not only the people who live in there. The pressure of those or that water that coming can go against other people's house and disrupt your foundation. You will not involve. So it should be a national issue that we should be concerned with these things. For I want to give a shout out to the class of 1995 for CWA. They gave our aid today. I swear to God, it was wonderful. I really enjoyed myself. And I'm about to leave. But before I leave, I'm going to eat the rest of the beans tobogi. I got to eat that one. So, gentlemen, I know you're not enjoying it.
Thank you for sharing.
I'm giving a shout out to the class that treated me.
I see, guys.
Paul, let me show you. You see the yard? The people have an Airbnb here. It's very beautiful. The yard is wonderful. The house is right here. And I just been crashing today and enjoying myself because we didn't really have a lot of activities. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad to be back next week. Hopefully, I will find one day to come and really delve into the real discussion. You know, our disruptor, the CEO, is not on the show today. But hey, folks, I appreciate you all. I appreciate the listeners. I hope to see you next week. Let me go enjoy myself. Thank you.
Good day.
Gentlemen,
good day. Later. Good day. Avaze Sotoa. That's Sotoa, you're calling Sotoa?
As in the back, don't cause our people to come here with it.
The world
I see you, man.
They don't have any.
I see you. Look, there's a lot of work to do. Hope government can step up. I really believe. Look, in Liberia, I believe in Liberia. I believe we can make a difference. We can get to where we want to get to, but it takes work. It takes will. It takes effort. It takes the stuff you guys are doing, trying to assess the information and bring it to the people. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. I'll talk to you all later.
Okay, so as we see you, anytime we see you.
All right, I see.
Yeah, so like what Azza was talking, right? Let me tell you something. We have to hold politicians by their words. And the first thing we need to do also is to educate the minds of our people. The people of Liberia, most of them believe that it is their right to live in a swamp. Some even believe that it is their right to stand in the middle of the road while traffic is moving. That's how naive some of our friends are. Some of our good friends that we know, that's how they believe that it is my right to stand here while this vehicle is moving. They are seeing me, they will not hit me. That's how sometimes we behave. So government that will come, both present and future governments, will have to do something that will change the narrative. But again, they will not do it because when these people get elected, as soon as they pronounce them as the winner, they are thinking about the next election. So because they are thinking about the next election, they are not going to take decisions that will better the lives of the people. Now, people within the broadcast administration, their major thinking is not about what they can do now to change things, but they are thinking about how they will win 2029 elections. That's how they are thinking, including representatives and senators. So if you have leaders who are thinking about the election that is far away, like 5 to 6 years from now, you think that person is going to be focused on changing the environment or bettering the people's life? No, they will not do it. So in order to do these things, government has to take drastic actions. Like I was reading something about Ghana during Jerry Rowland time. Roland took drastic actions where he said move in the street to make sure that people obey the laws. And at the time, people of Ghana saw him like the devil. But today he's celebrated in Ghana like the darling boy, even though he's dead and gone. And you ask people from Ghana, they will tell you that Roland was the one who put Ghana on the right path because Jerry Roland took decisions that were not normal to the citizens of Ghana at the time. We need a leader who will come and forget about his political future and do things that will set people on the right path. But if not, our people in the community will not allow these things to happen because they will continue to build in the swamp, in the waterway, and doing things that will create problems for us.
So good day. You made a very salient point, but I've like I always say, being back home, I haven't been out for
Please
a
don't
while.
call George Weah name. We don't want for Azul to come here again.
No, I'll call Acid though because Acid though let me say you mentioned your name, let me just get it out of the way. Acid though has mastered the act of just galloping around whenever we come on here so that we do not talk about the real issue. But to be honest, Liberia needs or reorientation. Liberia needs a complete mindset change. Liberia needs to be taught how to love their country, how to care for this country, not just a blind patriotism or what's the, for the lack of a better word, not just talking of shouting I love Mama Liberia and waving at him, but actually showing it in the way we treat this country, in the way we care for it, and in the laws and how we hold each other accountable. And that's what I have not seen on the ground because a lot of people in this country believe that this country can never change. You speak with a lot of politicians, there is a unanimous consensus that things will not change. I know you say it will take leadership, but Liberia politics have evolved to the point that our democracy is turning is fighting against us. What's supposed to be done cannot be done because we have this semi democracy that everybody tried to adhere to, and for a long time it will hold this country back because nobody can, no one president, even with the amount of power that they have, will be able to just make unilateral decisions. So this is where I'll say we need to bring Liberians from all over. I see a lot of you people, oh, you can't do Liberia, you want job, you want to do. Look, our country have lost its moral fabric. If you want the Liberia that you will come and bring your children to and come here and live like you in any other African country, you have to come down. This country is brain drained. A lot of things is lacking in this country. There are good Liberians and there are a lot of bad Liberians. There are a lot of people that think bad of this country. They see it as an elephant meat that they can slice and dice and they do not see it as a country. They do not know the value of this country. I see it every day in the way people treat this country. In America, they start teaching the children at an early age, through the cartoon, through all the different things on TV, how to love, care for your country, how to be patriot, how to be nationalistic. They start teaching at an early age. So when you ask the typical American or something, they'll say God and country first. People want to go and die. People want to serve the military. People want to serve the country and bring things back. We have not been taught that. Because you know what? Success in Liberia is different. When you look at success, you look at people that we look at as leaders, people that we look up to as successful people. There are people that, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them are people that got ill-gotten wealth, questionable wealth. And what do you see? You see those big towers. I call the towers a monument of corruption. The massive apartment, massive home, multiple duplex. Every young child do not want to be an engineer anymore. Every young child do not need to something, because the pathway to attaining those massive loot is through the corridor of the government. So we do not have a private sector that is working for us. Everybody want to do the same thing because that's what success look like. That's the easier road to success in this country. So until we can start changing our mindset, a good day, we keep talking and specifying the thing. We talk our own. We get tired. We go and fade away. I sometimes sit down in this room and think that will we ever see the Liberia that we envision for ourselves and our children in the lifetime? Sometimes when I think and look at everything, people make no, even the people that we are fighting for themselves, they are harm to themselves. People we are arguing for, some of the things that they worship, some of the things that they do. As so, look, let me close on this. My fellow panelists. Major incident happened. You see people from civil society, people from people that used to be when how they call this guy Bishop Kula and all these guys were around that used to mobilize people. Civil society, people will come and tell you, say, my man, we want to go protest, we want to do this thing. This thing is bad, but give money for us to go there. Why should I give you money to protest if you actually believe it? Why should I give you money to do anything for your own country? My children in America, my child, most of us, why? But that's how people think. Then someone will tell you how they can do it in Liberia. No. If you believe that something is bad, go out there. Nobody should give you money to protest, and that defeats the purpose. But I'm telling you that people have normalized a lot of things in this country that we don't know about. And we come here, you see people doing things and say that's the Liberian way. But we can change that Liberian way. If a lot of us that have had enlightenment, a lot of us that have gone out and see the right way of doing things, if more of us come down, make that sacrifice. Forget about the money. I see the comments. Oh, my man, you say you are making 20,000, go by now. Oh, you want to. The way people see money in this country is different. When you have lived your life and actually work for money, money don't become what you look for anymore. A lot of us looking for different things. People look for different things at a certain point and at a certain age in life. Money doesn't become the motivating factor anymore. But in Liberia, it's like money. When people get hungry, the first thing they eat is their integrity. We pray to God in the country. Let me finish with. We pray to God. We go to all this something, but still we are not doing justice to this country. I pray more of you in the diaspora, Europe, Canada, come home often. And good. Let me say this last point because you read it on my mind. The government
take it from there.
Yeah. All of your top let me go. We keep focusing on rules. The biggest problem in Liberia, people think is road. I was talking with one of my good friends today, and we had this discussion. I said, the biggest problem in Liberia is not roads. The roads that we keep making, road. We've been making road, we've been building road. Every year, the big lion's share of our budget goes towards road. But every year, we still have the road problem. And one thing that we are not focusing on is our population growth and real estate and infrastructure development. Roads is good, but what will we do for this population? Let me tell you something. Imagine if the government could invest in real estate and start to move the population from here to those rural areas that are already that we can sit down and have proper urban planning and how the Ivorians did in Abidjan in the early 90s and start moving it, the population will start shifting. We have electricity around the borders now, stable electricity. It will start to move our city and start to move it up in the rural area and start building those communities. Because honestly, we use more feeders road in the place than
But Fadika,
I
I
just
just want to.
see our priority and our team will get something. But
I just want to.
that conversation because I want to save it for another day.
Yeah, I just want to tip in on what you said, right? People will move to those places when government start doing the right things. Yes, quote unquote, everyone in Liberia will tell you that I want job. And government, if you look at Liberia now, everyone wants to work in government, and it's not possible. But again, government can make things possible by setting the stage and putting the right policies. When companies come into the country and move to the rural places, people will move. People will go there. If James is working in Maryland County, he's making good money. James is going to take his girlfriend
What
or
are you
his
doing here?
wife. His children will move there. So what
are you doing, Monrovia, with all the noise and pollution?
We are in Monrovia because our government has failed to put in the right things to bring in companies. Since the Union Party government came to power, how many companies have come to Liberia? When Weah was there, how many of them came? How many of those companies came and they moved to Lofa, Maryland, Grand G, River G? They moved there to hire people. You think people in Monrovia want to sit in Monrovia because they want to sit there? Because when they stay there, they will go to Capitol Hill and talk to people and get money. They will beg people to get money. But if you have a company in Maryland and other counties employing more than 5,000 Liberians, 100,000 Liberians, many young people will move. When they move there, they will relocate with their families. Some will leave there and establish their families. So until our government can start to go out there and lobby to do the right thing and forget about pocketing things that belong to the people, Monrovia will get overcrowded. And at the end of the day, we will be hit with disaster. So
Still
go ahead
fixing
and
this
maybe at the end we can take some calls.
Yeah. So good. You and Fadiga are making good point. Let me broaden the conversation. Besides, carrying company is one of the things, but I would say that Liberian government need to follow the Decentralization Act. When you decentralize government and you put government, the administration of government in the hands of the people, you distribute the generation of revenue, you empower the human resource capacity across the country, and you develop a workforce strategic plan, then you are leading to the right direction. Because it is based on the workforce strategic plan that you even strengthen your educational system. Right now, most of the students who go to school, they are doing management, sociology, accounting, economics. They are within that public management sector. Very few of them, and of late that started changing, but we need to look at it more. We need more engineers. We need more technical vocational institutes to be able to build short-term skills and capacity, to be able to enhance short-term programs that will increase the country revenue generation and create jobs. Jobs creation is the reason why, the lack of job creation is one of the primary reasons why everybody is circulated and compressed in Montserrado County. 90% of the jobs we have in our country are focused within Montserrado, Grand Bassa, Margibi, in those urban counties. You can, if you live in Bapolu and you bought a car, you're not able to register your car in Bapolu and get a license plate there and run your car in Bapolu. You have to come to Kere Street or Warren Street, wherever they have Ministry of Transport is. You run around sometimes 2 weeks, you're trying to get a license plate before you can get a license plate to go back Bapolo. If the Ministry of Transport decentralizes a component of it, to go back to Bapolo, where you can go, you buy your car, you register it, you run your car without coming to Carey Street. You've created job, you decentralize a component of your function. You don't need to come to Monrovia to change money. There are some of the counties that don't have bank. I don't know whether they are bank now in Lofa County. Last time I was in Lofa, there was no bank there. In fact, there was no gas station in Lofa the last time I was there. So these things are telling you that we still got a lot of constraints as far as development. So when Monrovia was built, it was built for not more than 250,000 people. Right now, you got 1.2 to 1.3 million people in that area called Monrovia. And the issues that we're having now, Fadiga, about the people building in swamps and building in wetlands and building in waterways, is because of the overpopulation. Everywhere in the world, urban migration has increased. I mean, everywhere, even in the US, people are leaving Alaska and moving down to urban cities, right? Urban states that have things that are doing well. If you decentralize the economic distribution around the country, people stay in Todmanboro, they work. People stay in Lofa, they work. People go as far as, Gangwalala, they got job there. They don't need to come to Monrovia. Nobody will come and fold Monrovia out. I mean, I don't want to come to Monrovia. I have a decent place. I can live in Bapolo. When I'm there, you don't even know that I'm in Bapolo, right? But because all of the jobs are central in Monrovia, I have to leave Bapolo to come work in Monrovia to go back to Bapolo. Why can't we decentralize some of these offices, make sure that people are going on the other side, where you can be there eating your freshwater catfish and eating your tabagi soup, and you don't need to come to that place in Monrovia where you can barely breathe, you hear the noise all around. So now you wake up in the morning. I live right opposite the honorable man, Eugene Facon. But on that street where we live, the kind of noise that is on that street, Fadiga, I mean, I'm not gonna, I gotta pin myself to know where I'm living. The nightclub, we have about 4 nightclubs. We have about 4 nightclubs right in the same vicinity. They got their speaker them sitting on the street. The noise so loud. People are building anywhere they want to build without getting the public work concerned. Public work do the local area pass. The EPA, sometimes they go there, sometimes they don't. And for instance, right now, EPA is mostly focused on concession mining and agreement. They're not looking at the whole habitat of Monrovia, how people can go around to make sure they are in the right place. So you talk about strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. The EPA, for example, has a lot of opportunity with international partnership. They got this carbon energy line that they can get carbon funding from. They got all these international goodwill to clean energy and environmental friendly things. They should be tapping into it. But their threats they have, they know that every year Monrovia is going to have rain. So in the dry season, they should be working with these public works to make sure that people are not violating the waterway construction thing. They should be making sure that public work is getting permit, but EPA is still getting permit because EPA also gives environmental permits for construction to happen, especially industrial constructions. So everybody needs to do job. And just the last thing before I leave, end my comment. As Fadiga talk about, we need a legacy president. We have a legacy president. President Joseph Yuman Boakai can do anything in Liberia to straighten the country. Because of anyone who should not have a fear of re-election, I don't think President Boakai should have any fear about re-election. If I were President Boakai, I would not be thinking about re-election. I would be trying to set the country so that a legacy is led by my government. To put the listen, when Omen Boakai was here, this is what people still talk about Hofe Bonye. I was in Yamasoklo. I saw a whole city the man built. The man built a whole city in the village. The village is one of the most modern cities in Cote d'Ivoire.
He built a basilica. Can you imagine?
President Boakai has the good position to lead the legacy. I hope people like you, Vadiga, and those who are his trusted aide should look at it from the vintage of, if we really help this old man to lead the legacy, maybe we could even benefit the legacy the old man leaves, because it's about setting Manuel right. And good day, you're saying people normally will not want to do the right thing until you make them to do it. The reason why government has regulation is that government knows that people will not want to do things if you did not regulate them into doing it. Everybody can just get up and put speaker in the street. If everybody in Monrovia buy a speaker and put it in the street, nobody will hear in Monrovia in the next 5 years. Everybody there will be deaf walking around. So the reason why they regulate those things and government has an agency that is an oversight is to make sure that people, even though you have the freedom of right of expression and speech, but your freedom also should have a limitation when it interferes with other rights. And this is where government comes in. But Liberian government has been very political from one government to another. The two governments that I see in Liberia that had the political will of the people, but they're not going to handle it, was George Weah government and this government now. If these two governments pass and Liberia did not change, then I will begin to lose some confidence that Liberia will change now, because Omen Bwaka has the willpower to change Liberia.
All right, let me just do this commercial.
Let me just respond
before you come in.
Oh, yeah,
so tomorrow, basically for me, I'm already into tomorrow. So tomorrow, the managing director of the National Port Authority, Mr. Sekou Dukle, or Honorable Sekou Dukle, will appear on the one-on-one with the CEO, and they will talk about so many things. So don't miss it. Come and join them. The CEO, when he came from the market, he had to cook his potato grain. So right now he's cooking his potato grain. That's why he's not here. So you can see him tomorrow on the one-on-one, and Honorable Dukle will be there to speak about his achievements so far at the National Port Authority. So you can come and join. Abdullah Katamba will also be there. You know now they are the two individuals who are always there. So come and listen to more interesting news from the NPA, because things are happening there, and we will also be listening because the team is ready to question the MD about the pronouncement that he made that they contributed 2 million to the national budget and they raised 6 million. So he will explain tomorrow how and where the banner money is and how much they will contribute at the end of the year. So again, they will be on tomorrow, and the time is 7:30 p.m. Don't miss it. Yeah, go ahead, Fadiga.
Let me just, I tell you, I've always called President Boyka a legacy president. When he was a vice president for 12 years, he has been around. Say what you can. President Boyka knows what he wants. He knows he has a plan. He has a vision for this country. I think, and I agree. I admit we have had some false starts, and it's been 6 months. We got 6 years to go with this thing. What I think has been some of the problems that I see is that when you have 21 political institutions coming together to win an election, it's not easy accommodating everybody. At this point, it's going to be hard to have a real team because there are competing interests fight you.
Because there's no plan.
No, that's not. It has nothing to do with plan. The plan there,
Right.
the agenda is there.
No plan.
The plan is there. But when you have
okay,
to,
no, Fadiga, please don't confuse.
hold on.
No, I'm coming. There's no way you're gonna have an agenda, and then you tell us that you are confused to work with your agenda because agenda is first come, first serve.
It has nothing to do with confusing the agenda. If I go into the election with Peter or Paul or you all from different political parties, you think your interest will be the United Party interest?
We're talking government.
Yeah, we're talking government, but that's what I'm telling you. People may be in there, they will carry on subversion. Some people there for their own interest. Some people looking at 2029. People are already moved beyond this. People looking at enriching themselves. There are different competing. When I say there are a lot of competing priorities here, The president has done a good job of these cabinet retreat and cabinet meeting to put back everybody on the same page to build that team. It's like you have a soccer team and you take international players from all over, and those people that are practicing, those local based players that are practicing, you notice that they will perform better than those scattered people. It doesn't matter whether they are professional from other places. When they come on the team, they will not perform as good as those that have worked together and know the different things. So they have to come practice and get together. I think we are in that practicing stage where people are getting to understand the president. And I know at some point he will do some shake up to make sure that everybody come in line. So these are not a problem, but I know it will happen. So for Paul to say, oh, legacy, he is a legacy president, and I just pray that even if everything doesn't happen this term, I know that if we can put Liberia on the right trajectory, I'm telling you, it will go a long way for this generation because that's the last batch of this generation in power right now. And if they leave, they need to leave out with something very good. Because that's
can we get few calls? Can we take few calls?
Yeah, let's take few calls.
Nelson.
Nelson sleeping?
No, I don't think so. Nelson, if you are listening, please come on. Let's take few calls. Yeah, while we are waiting, Nelson to come on, let's let's look into the faces of our leaders, sometimes to tell them what is right and what is wrong. President Boakai or those who around the president need to do more listening. And now, thank God that our country is like any other country. Social media is also helping us. Now, social media in the world is the largest place in terms of news, though you have to verify, but in terms of getting information, social media is the largest place. Even CNN, the BBC, and other media institutions depend on social media at some point to get a lead regarding a specific story. You see the story there, you take it and develop it and do whatever you can to verify that information. And I think the president can also use the social media to get some information about his agency and some of the leaders. He needs to take some actions. I think I listened to a story before when I was in the 9th grade. My history instructor told me was President Topper. I think he said Topper that sometimes he used to, before a minister gets to his office, sometimes he will go and see the president already at his office. Yeah, I think he talked about
President William R. Talbot Jr. He fired the finance minister like that.
Yes.
He saw him saying now to work in his office at 8 a.m.
Okay.
When they didn't show up at 9:30, he didn't have a job.
Yes.
Imagine the president coming to sit in your seat. But does Ome Baga have the energy to do that? So you cannot make this thing. No, listen. Good day, you cannot make this thing about the president.
Not really the president, but at least you can
the
do,
president in the wisdom of the Constitution, the president cannot be everywhere at the same time.
No.
That is why the president, the Constitution allowed the president to nominate able-bodied, competent people who would lead the affairs of the president, will advise the president on certain sectoral matter. The president cannot do anything about public works, so he appoints somebody who understands the workings of public works to become a minister of public work, so that person advises the president on all of the public work matter. And then that person also has the power to build a team of people at public work to be able to do that. So it is morally enticing for this person who is appointed as the Minister of Public Work to do his job without the president of Liberia standing over his head. Now, don't get me wrong. You are right that the president has to also put a foot down on supervising and making sure that these people are actually doing what he told them to do, right? Which is this sporadic visit, from here and there. He goes and see how the people are doing. Those are actually good things. But we, as people who are appointed in this position, have to have the integrity, the moral ability to be able to live without somebody looking at us, so that we can patriotically work in the interest of our country. Because when the president brings me on to work as a minister to help foster the agenda of the party. You are doing that for the party, but overall person you are doing that for should be the country. But Liberia is the other way around. People are putting party before country. They my first time seeing people in a country where they put party before country. The party came and saw the country existing. How do you like party more than country? It doesn't make sense. That party will die one day. Where is two-way party today? Two-way party, NDPL, MPP. Those were some of the biggest parties. Yeah, those were some of the biggest parties in our time. But they all went down. And some of them trying to get rejuvenated now, but Liberia still remains Liberia. So whichever party you can come from John Joe party. Once they put you up there and give you the mantle of authority to lead the responsibility of your office or the particular office you hold, it should all be in the interest of making the country better, not your party. So this is why most of the people who get appointed, they don't get this thing particular. So somebody says, oh, you need to talk to your leader. Or good day say you need to talk to the leader. Some of the leaders have their own minds. You advise them, they tell you yes, they will do it. Once you move on there, they listen to it because they are compounded.
And that is what
let me say this, Paul. One of the things I've observed here when it comes to leadership,
please come on. Let's take some calls.
We need a lot of leadership. We need to have some leadership course here where teach people how to deal with, like what we do in corporate America, like what we're doing most American, even the government do, is that a lot of times I think people have this distorted thinking when it comes to leadership. And a lot of time I keep hearing people talking this nonsense. The boss is the boss and everything. Yes, the boss will always be your boss, but that boss, I don't even like the idea of boss. It just sounds very wrong. In the first place, it's a mindset that is very wrong. People should be treated as equal. You are the head. You listen to your subordinates. It goes both ways. But the notion that if you are the boss, then you automatically own everything and you don't listen to your superior, it brings hostile work environment. And I see that a lot with different agencies and ministries because there's a lot of great leaders I've seen, but there are also some people that have this mindset that makes it different. In America, you can disagree with your boss. It will always be about the job. It doesn't go beyond the job or get to personal thing or have any vendetta, because at the end of the day, if your boss can how they call it thing, get a survey of you and critique you, you too will have an opportunity at the end of the day to critique your boss. So because of that, everybody kind of know their role and kind of protect their interest. Because I remember how a boss one time at the end of the day we had to do survey for our own bosses. So they all want to be.
It's called appraisal. You gotta appraise your boss.
You gotta appraise your boss. At the same time, your boss will appraise you. So because they know that bosses suck up. And a boss that listens to his people, a boss that is always there and bring the people and get all these different competing ideas and sit there, they make good decisions.
But that's the fundamental step of leadership.
But it doesn't happen yet. A lot of times,
the first thing as a leader they will teach you in leadership is that you have to do it.
A lot of people don't see it that way. I see a lot of people keep talking this deal, but and stop. It doesn't mean that everybody saying it is right. This abuse of mind for a start of think out of the box.
So this is why we have this platform to be able to educate the minds of the people. Liberia has an absolute leadership system.
And they keep parading it for years over years, and people believe that it's right. No, that's not what it means. It's not like a slave and master thinking. When it comes to boss is the boss, that phrase is never about one person is the master, one person is the no. They are equals, and they are first among equals.
You are not to do it, but you are not to outsmart your boss. You can suggest.
You can never outsmart your boss. Your boss is the reason. I don't care how smart you are. Your boss is there because for a reason.
Yeah,
so you cannot outsmart him. You'll never wasting your time.
Yeah. So Nelson, welcome.
Yeah. So we're taking some calls.
Yes, sir.
0555-101075. Let me put the WhatsApp up, and now you be live on the show.
So the issue should be good. They give the topic now. The topic should be Liberia now, we all know the problems, particularly with this current disaster thing that is going on with the flood and other things. What are the solutions? Because the people should also be a part of this solution, right? Because they are
Exactly, Paul.
the people are contributing to the problem, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
we are
yeah.
looking at it from different ways, sitting down on this table, but the people who are affected by the situation also have a solution to some of the problems. So the call line will be open for people to tell us with this flawed situation, right? What can we as Liberians do to make the country better? I think that should be the call line.
Yeah, they were listening. So go ahead, Nelson. That's it. We don't have to repeat again.
0555101075. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello. You're live. Your name and where you call from?
My name is Mr. Dauka. I call from Lower Johnsonville this evening.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I had a concern. My concern had to do with the bunch of confused people they call sedition. These guys behave the same way they are behaving when they were in government.
Quarter. Nelson, you have to call him to order. You have to respect
the
your
time down and talk tabata on the radio station.
Hello.
Not order well for
Hello, bro.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, so you have to address every single person with some level of respect. You may not agree with their point. You may not agree with their position. You have to do that in a very cordial way. Go ahead.
Thank you.
So let's take another person. 0555101075. It's the number to call. You'll be live on the show. Let's take another person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. You're live on the show.
Yeah, I'm a friend of Johnson but today I'm very happy that I'm online today.
Okay.
I'm D. Marcus from Cali, phoning from Kenya.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, the issue was this, the government got to do something about it. I was speaking to you. Last night, my brother, the town is heavy rainfall. I have a zero, but I'll be a structure, 3 rain structure, and because my husband, I don't want to pay them. So I still remain a zero, my structure, and the rain fell until enter our bedroom. My 2 children room, they were lying down. After I got outside, round full, the fell on the children, the water already, anyway, take over the room because they lie down on the floor and out on the bed. So my brother, government really need to do something about this.
Okay.
The issue the brother raised for me, anybody, but I tell you I'm disappointed. I expect to do the right thing we expected. Right now, the people saying they're selling the place, get all over the place. Why you can't take the post from Raider?
Thank you.
We said because Weah was speaking for second term. Now the public sending good checks. Why you can't take the post from Weah and send it to Ruminga and other places? You go to all the bed. The same thing I was saying the regime finished. So why do we suffer for? Why we the rain and the people?
Thanks a lot. Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello. Okay, so let's hold this person a bit and go to WhatsApp and take this call. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nancy?
Yeah, hello, you're live.
Nancy? Yeah. What I'm talking about, my name is Maria. I'm calling from Australia.
Okay.
The solution is in Liberia. Is the people have to burn the dirt. Because if they don't burn the dirt, they're going to take the dirt and put it in a creek and in a river. That's a problem in Liberia. You cannot follow the dirt up always. You have to burn the dirt. And
don't you think burning the dirt is going to cause air pollution and all of that?
Nothing. Let me tell you, in a European world that we're in, the country that we're living in, the people burn the dirt. They burn it. If they put out burn the dirt, they'll be piled all over.
How they can burn it? Nelson asked how they can burn it.
Yeah, it's the dirt. That's the one we buy to plant our pepper.
How to burn it down.
It's a process. They have to be incinerated.
So is the process the same? You're talking the same way you're talking about it for Liberia. The way people can just put it outside in Liberia and point it everything go in the air. Is that what they do?
The people are collecting the dirt. I know the people that can collect the dirt. They collect the dirt from in the market whatsoever. They carry it to a special place. They have to dig down hole, build a big concrete on that ground and bring it. They could live in Nancy. They do the day. They bring the day overnight. They bring the day, carry the day far away and bring it.
Okay.
If I could talk with it, I know they are collecting the day. I could tell you the same thing. I want to put in Australia yet. They bring the day. After bringing the day, they sell the day to people. The day get money, but people don't know. That's why they quick up and fall it up.
Okay. Thank you.
On the side, what we see here, that what our country to take for that. Bye.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's take another person from this end. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Please go ahead. Please walk away from a radio. Please do that for us. Hello. Okay, so we'll have to take another person. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Isaiah Eviasanda calling from Hawaii.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, if we discussing the erosion that took place, the gun time or the flood that took place, sometimes we look at ourselves because we look at ourselves. Sometimes we look at the water drainage or where the water is supposed to pass, then we'll take houses over it or we'll take house over it. At the end of the day, what we need to look at is water we not have the way through. The way it's supposed to pass through, it will not pass through. But then, what it's supposed to do to create a flow? Yes, because now when you look at it, even the island, people having the right building houses on the island, even on the drainage, what is supposed to have the access to pass through.
Thank you.
Yes, something like that. You're not even looking at all these things. They just building houses because they want build houses, they want to have shelter and whatsoever.
Thank you very much. Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Abraham Porto calling.
You want to be all over a bit, Abraham?
Abraham Porto calling from Calano.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking. You were discussing good things, but the problem in Liberia is the policy, the way people on the policy, the social policy is not constructed.
Okay.
Because there are a few times when the machine being thinking about the president, I mean, the party have bring some machine in the country, but it's supposed to pay 60 million, which would be a part payment. And people are, they are against that. They are talking all kinds of things. The government should tell them how much they pay. I mean, the machine coming is not the problem, but how much are they paying for the machine? And then we are one.
Okay, so for some reason you are coming in very low. So let's take this person. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, please lower the volume of your radio. Please do that for us. Oh, this one is not good. Hello.
Yeah, you getting me now?
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, Harry S. back, calling from Christian community.
Go ahead, let's hear you quickly. 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the flood last place the future. People saying they bring their share or problem from another people like for me like yeah, bring the government. Because I expect the government those solve the land for the people. It's government branch or government of the land for the people. If you don't know where water should pass, and you don't know where others should be. But now the people when they call the people to solve the area. They will solve all the area. They said they will help to share the places to the people. So when they build a hospital, so everybody in Moga, everybody want to live for God. I only place a hospital and put there, they make money. So you must be a selling. Everybody wants to put yourself in Moga when you get this area you selling. The people will come there, they ought to buy.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So we take the last call. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Your name and where you call from.
Yeah, I'm Daniel Farah calling from Johnsonville.
Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, we're talking about water disturbing people. Poor Megan Bay Swamp, the first thing Poor Megan Bay Swamp. In 7 years, when you prepare to pay a house, you get a house, plan everything, you got money to build before you build. And probably will send people to observe how you dig the foundation and the house you so to put somewhere. But for Liberia, even house I have to too low to bring it to my house. No alley, but I can see on my D I have street. So the problem, the government have to really work. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. So I think we've taken some calls. I will now turn over to you, Mr. Kennedy, and the rest of the team.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. First of all, my heart goes out to the people who are experiencing the current the flooding challenge in Liberia. I grew up in Blamo Town, in Logan Town, behind the resto. So I know what water can do when it comes around house. In fact, when we're growing up, because the places get so flooded and leave small areas on the road, we need to go stand and see people who are dressed coming to church on Sunday. We'll put you on a bag, we'll cross you get off fast. So, the water in living spaces have a lot of uh, concerns. And from the public health perspective, I'm thinking public health, it has the potential for spreading diseases. You're talking about cholera, you're thinking diarrhea, you're talking about skin infections. So it's a lot, and we really like to thank the people who call to contribute to the topic. The thing is, there are certain agencies of government. Normally, when people say government have to do this, government have to do this, I want to agree with them, except that sometimes they are really not specific of which government agency has to do. Because government, you see, is a big thing. Government starts from the very community leaders you have in your community. They need to begin now to look at who's building where and whether those people are allowed to build there. Sometimes people come and building in the swamp. Tell them, listen, EPA is supposed to come to make sure you don't build here. Public works is supposed to come to make sure you don't build here. But since you're coming to build here, we need to see your legal rights or deeds to see whether you are allowed to build here. Sometimes what's right, what's legal is always not right. Because somebody could have the legality to build in certain waterways, but if that waterways comes to flood so that other people are affected, causing death and chaos, we as a community, we're not going to allow you to build there. Now, if you go around Monrovia, most of the community people are just building houses all over without any recreation facility, without any space. How do you pay a whole community and don't have any football field? Then they got to go look in the community and look for somebody abandoned land where they're not building anything on. They make it a football field. When the person comes, they want you to take their land, then the people get invest. Before the community even start building, think then are roads, alley, there should be a designated area to say, listen, this community is going to allow 1,000 houses here. In this 1,000 area, nobody will build in a house on this particular area. This area will be our playground. We'll have football field there. We'll have volleyball court. We'll have basketball court for the community. We'll have places you can put shopping center like store, like business. You need to designate those places. That is what's happening everywhere in the world. But Liberia, go from Major now. From here to Junction to Major, everywhere on the road is also store. But all the front line, that's store. Where is the beautification? How do we, when is our country going to get pretty? People say, oh, development happening. Development is just not building a house. Development is about leaving the social space so that people are integrated to be in one community, to have a very well-being in their life, their social life, their physical life. No, it be a whole community with no exercise facility, a place for people to exercise. So you'll just be in the house. Somebody houses, you got to pass through somebody's door to get to another person's house. President Sally from Turbo Town, they've been trying to relocate the people from West Point because of their Turbo Bill Cabral Estate, Turbo Bill Stephen Turbo Estate, Turbo Bill New Georgia Estate. The people from West Point have not moved. I was not born. They've been trying to relocate those people. The people are still there. So some of these things, government have to actually put their foot down to hold these organizations responsible to make sure that our people are living a very good life. I think you can take over from there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. There are a lot of things in this country that need, but I think we can take baby steps. The fact that we are talking about it, the fact that we are thinking about it, is the right step. President Boyka, I pray that the team will implement some of the things. I don't think one of the most important things that I think needs to happen, apart from all the things here, is to hold people accountable. I think people play too much with government money. When you take what is meant for the general population and divert it to yourself, it is a problem. And until we can start to see it as a problem and stop asking for what you can get from your share, then we'll not move forward. I think uh, one of the things that the Liberian people want from this administration more than ever is accountability. If we do not hold somebody accountable, then look, people been stealing since 1847. We can say that, but somebody has to put an end to it. That is how you leave legacy. If we can just put a stop to it, somebody have to say we stop here now, because the problem in Liberia, they are enormous and they scatter all over. Sometimes you don't even know where to start from. But where we can start from moving forward to put an end to all these things is to hold people accountable. If we set that precedence and make sure that moving forward, that this country will no longer allow people to abuse public trust, to divert public funds for the personal gain, and do these things, then maybe then we can start fighting all this on. But it starts with accountability, and it's frustrating at the pace it is moving. Some of which was fast enough, but it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as it happens. Because if it doesn't happen, it will set a wrong precedent that even we as a government might do the same or even do worse. Accountability starts with us. Once we start to hold other people accountable, then we become the model because we know other people will do the same to us. So we hold ourselves into something, and then we can probably start from there. But with the water, I'm tired seeing people making the same mistake year in, year out. We have a tropical climate. It's a very tropical country. Rainy season will always come. Every year will come sometime with more rain than the next. And we keep doing the same thing. Government need to put their foot down. We need to start putting politics about the national interest. Look, there's so many things that have gone wrong in this country in the last decade or so, 2 decades or so, that we need to fix. We need to go on the drawing board. We need to redefine what we want as a nation. We have a national agenda. We need to stick to it. I pray that the president hold a lot of those people accountable. And I know one thing I keep hearing in the corridor, that there will be a shift. I hope the president should shake the code of what is going on right now and bring people to the senses, because everybody seems to be, some people now. There are a lot of people that are doing good. I don't want to even make other people feel jealous for to feel that I'm singling people out. But there are a lot of people that I see doing the right thing. There are also a lot of people that are not doing nothing, that want to carry on business as usual. We should be able to weed them from the group, and maybe by the second year, I'm sure. But I still have confidence in this government, knowing President Boyka, who he is. He has a lot of goodwill on his side. The Liberian people still have enormous confidence in him. They believe that he can deliver, and I see no reason why he shouldn't deliver. The best thing that the president can have on his side is the mandate of the people. And last year, the Liberian people gave a clear mandate that they wanted drugs off the street. And I'll close on drugs. They wanted all to hold people accountable. Then we come to infrastructure and then economy. But the two top things on their line was accountability and drugs. We won election on those things. I pray, I just met those guys again. We need to fight drugs in this country, especially the Kush. This is a regional issue. It's becoming a national issue. Kush is one of the most deadly things that have entered the shores of this country. That kush thing. Whoever invented it to annihilate our population, especially our youthful population, these people need death penalty. I'm saying it with I didn't stutter. We need some harsh regional punishment for kush. The cocaine and all the other things, they little hard to get in something. I'm not saying it's a drug. But kush is one of the cheapest, most addictive, and deadly substance that have been introduced in this country. I talk to mothers, I talk to brothers, I talk to families. People are crying, they are hurting, they are hopeless, they are voiceless, they don't know where to turn. Mr. President, I'm begging you, our First Lady, Second Lady, my good friend Jeremiah Kush is destroying this country. Kush, whatever substance they are putting in that thing, the soul now that is coming on the children foot, they cannot be healed. We're going to start have a lot of amputees. It's very addictive, and the children are finding a more creative way because it's cheap and easy to get, and people are flooding it on our market. Kush, we need to come on hard on those that are bringing Kush in this country. Kush.
Fadiga, how many times you call Kush?
No, I want people to hear it.
No, nothing, Fadiga throw my mind to a couple of things. When he said we have to listen, there are two ways that Liberia can be transformed from my perspective. It's either from the top down, which means that the leadership has to take the mentor, they have to put their foot down, they have to make things happen, or it has to be from bottom up, which means every Liberian will see themselves as a civil part of society, and they will respect the rule of laws. They will do their portion of developing the society and moving things forward. The lady who called from Australia to talk about, burning the dirt, right? There's a difference between dirt and garbage. So the dirt is the one they're saying pass around. Garbage is what's concerning us in Liberia. Dirt is actually a good thing because dirt is the soil, the one you can pull to mud houses. But the concern we have is not dirt. Our concern is garbage. The common language for the Liberian will say dirt, so we just mix all of those things out. But most of the garbage we dispose of have toxicity. Some of them have toxin. They have a toxic component. So if you just put them out there and put fire on it, you don't know who could be developing respiratory problem, chest problem from why you are burning. You don't know who could be developing any kind of environmental hazard, health hazard issue. So the reason why public health officials advise that you just don't burn dirt, garbage in the open, it has to be something we call incinerated, is why you have the city management, because they have the expertise to be able to partner with companies that can do waste disposals. Now you can either do landfill, which means you collect it, you identify a particular place in the city, you compress them and put them there and bury them, which is the landfill process, or you put them in a machine, you put fire on it, you burn it, you incinerate it, and direct where the carbon monoxide from in there goes. Because if you do it around somebody's house and you smoke the person's house, somebody could be laying down in there and pass out from the smoke. Exactly. Whether it's just the toxin from the substances or the element you are burning, or the carbon monoxide from the smoke that is coming into the house. If it comes beyond the oxygen level in the house, the people will die. That's why some people go to bed and they die there. Somebody say, oh, the man died in sleep, or they wish they man. No. If that man sitting down near something that's burning, and I saw that in Douala Market forever, right there at Point 4 Junction, the people were burning the garbage, and people were sitting down right in there selling fish. So they didn't know that that smoke that is coming can kill them. You carry enough of that smoke in you, you go lay down in the morning, you don't get up, and the person, oh, that man want to sell a fish, he just came by to poison him. Nobody poison you, you just expose yourself to a lot of toxic chemical that were burnt in the dead. So she made a good point. One reason why I will recommend that the authority be the one to do that is because they understand the implications of burning garbage, right? So the city corporations, whether it's Pinville City, whether it's Monrovia City, they should be able to arrange the garbage collection and disposal in a way that particular certain garbage is disposed of, certain amount is recycled, and certain amount is burned. But to my point about there are two ways to develop the country. In Liberia, Liberian people listen to their leaders. Nelson, let me tell you this for free. If you and myself went to stand somewhere to talk, nobody who, if people don't know us to be leaders, they will never come there. But if you want to, you put a minister of health or a minister of finance somewhere to go talk, there will be more people going to listen to that person who is in the ministerial position than you, Nelson, and Goodway and myself, Good Day myself, because we're not in ministerial position. So the president of Liberia, when the president is elected, the president already has the mandate of the people to serve them, right? So this president, the president, when they're elected, they should put their foot down. Good day. If a president goes to 3 offices and make sure that people are there on time to work, people don't leave the place sitting there in the hallway, everybody go to work, they clock in and they clock out and they sign in, people are living up to their commitment, you will have a lot of productivity. But if the president and his ministers, if the minister is not coming to work 11 o'clock and leaving at 2 and not coming back, and the HR in the building, because don't get me wrong, so ministers are not supposed to come to work 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Ministers' schedule depends on their arrangements and their engagements. If your minister has to meet with another ministry for a 9 o'clock meeting, you don't expect them to come to work 6 o'clock and stay to work 9 o'clock before going to that meeting. Some of them can come 7 o'clock, they stay in their office and go to that meeting. But depending on the time of the meeting, they go straight to the meeting from home. But the people who are the administrators of the agencies are the deputy ministers for administrations. Those people have the fiduciary responsibility and the management responsibility to ensure that the staff are well managed in the building. There are people on payroll who don't show up to work. They stay home for months, but every month they collect their pay. Because you know what? Most of the agencies do not even have the ability to stop you from getting paid. Good day. If you work with, let's say, EPA, and your pay comes directly from finance, EPA got to go through the hoops to be able to stop finance from paying you. As a result, some of the management here just say, you know what, let them do what they want to do, which is not a good thing. So our examples for leadership should come from our leaders. If our leaders are holding themselves responsible and they are doing the good practices, you think the president fire 5 person in the country there for corruption, so other people want to be corrupt? No, they will not be corrupt. The president sent 5 person to be judged for a corruption scandal, and the people come back to find out that those people were involved. The president fired them and replaced them. I can guarantee you people will not be corrupt. But when last have we seen our president getting anybody fired for corruption? You need to inform me. So because those things are not happening is why we see people continuing to be corrupt on a daily basis. They say, I'll do it, nothing will come out of it. So our country really needs to pay attention, and most of the things we are talking about can only be effectuated from the top down, not from the bottom up.
Yeah, and that is what I talk about, system planning. The more you do system planning, these things happen. But if you fail to do them, people will do anything they want to do. But it's been a great time. We had a great time here, so I think we can just go ahead and Fadiga, let me allow you after.
Yeah, I'll be quick. It was a great show. We
and then
enjoyed it.
you can do your closing remark as well. Because I said go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just close. It was a great show. I like this discussion. Sometimes we need to sit down and involve. I wish our communities could get more involved. I would say this one thing. The culture of silence in Liberia is very annoying, and people need to start looking for advocates and looking for people to speak on your behalf. Liberians need to get up and learn to speak up for themselves. If you live in a community that got drugs dealer and you know that man could at least selling drugs and people selling drugs in that community to your children, look, Milton Bly told me something, and this guy's a philosopher. I'm telling you, if you sit with this guy, he spit out a lot of wisdom. He gave an analogy. He said bad people are that plenty. There are few. The armed robbers or people. There are few or one or two guys that will be carrying on armed robbery. But these guys can succeed in terrorizing an entire community. Everybody going to bed because of two or three individuals. And he said, you know why? He said, because they said they are not brave. They don't have nothing different, but because people are afraid. They have that desire to terrorize people and they make a lot of noise so people becomes afraid. But if the people who are usually in the majority stand up against these few individuals, they will succeed. And our communities are not standing up. Before the pastors, the imams used to do these things, they are not fighting it anymore. They are all comfortable in their place, preaching different things, but we need to get our community up more. The voices of our communities leaders need to be louder than before. You see these bad people in your community, get together. Oh, I'm afraid I'm minding my own business. How can you mind your business when your children are dying? How can you mind your business when we have multiple problems in this community? You don't even need one community leader. Get together. Say, you know what? This particular person you bring our children policy will get rid of you. Or this thing happening, we'll go to the government, petition the government to fix it. Do it as a group. If people start taking their individual problems and taking it out there, the community problem will be solved individually, and at the end of the day, nothing will get done. We need to start cultivating the idea that when we all do better, we all will do better. When one person do better, we all will suffer. I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Honorable Kennedy.
Thank you, my brother. Good day. I think we had a good show. It's all not about politics for us. I think sometimes we should highlight the social, economical issues in our society. Liberia has to practice several things to improve the country and the well-being of our people. The first thing I would think that Liberians should begin doing from the government perspective, I think the government should think about decentralizing government. The laws are already there. That act was passed in 2016, I think 2018. I need to find the year that the decentralization act was passed. And then there was another act that was developed by Gateway McIntosh in 2012. That also talk about county development agenda. Those laws are there on the book that empowers government to decentralize and function at the local government perspective. Good day. If Bapolo counted,
I said just to add up decentralization and integration, they should do it.
Yes. If Bapolo counted, it takes the responsibility to take care of the school systems in Bapolo County, right? Bapolo County has several public schools. Each district has one or two public schools. If those districts had the money and the ability to be able to work and sponsor its public school system, I think they will do well. If they also are able to run the health system, I think they will do well. Another thing I think they would do is to make sure that all of these local government entities all of these local government entities are structured to be able to create opportunity for jobs, right? But then the government should also support private sector institutions to alleviate some of the constraints of salary from government and defer them to private sector institutions. Government cannot do everything. The Liberian government should reduce the size, it should shrink government function. Government is all over the place, government too big. As a result, the small money government is generating from the revenue, that money got going back into salary. So government needs to see how they can build the capacity of other institutions so that those institutions in the private sector can take some of the burden of the job creation. Because one of our problems in Liberia is there are no jobs. Right now, you can factor the working class to 250,000 people. but how many of them actually have a job? You know, most of the people in Liberia really don't have a job, and a lot of them who have job in the government, in the public sector. We need to change that. We need to empower people to get back to the soil to do agricultural development. You know, they give county development money to these various countries. None of the countries they give him county development money to is putting anything into agriculture. Most of the money they're putting it in scholarship and they're putting the money into construction. What are you constructing? You know, how are you going to be able to maintain that thing you are constructing? Let's say they give you $200,000. If you took 150,000 of that money and put it into agricultural development and say, listen, there are no pepper and there are no onions in Liberia. You know, we will focus on developing pepper and onion on 50 acres of land, and you start becoming a major supplier of pepper and onion. Rainy season, dry season, everybody know you as a country that is producing pepper. You know what that means for you? You could be generating anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000 in 3 to 6 months and be adding them. So when you come to look in the whole year time, you are getting more than the $200,000 they gave you for the annual budget, and that becomes a supplemental income to what you're doing. So we need to think outside of the box and begin to get engaged into more of empowering the private sector and growing our own stuff than sitting there and just waiting for government to function. Government cannot do everything because of the kind of size of money that our country is raising. Thank you very much for everybody following us, and it's a good day. Go and enjoy your Saturday.
Now, you know, my computer went off. I had to switch to my phone. That's why you saw I left. Thank you.
Okay.
It was also beautiful being here, and I hope to be here again next week, Saturday. But before we go, folks, let me bring this tomorrow on the 101. Let me see. Okay, we stay in the 29 in Liberia. Tomorrow on the 101 with the CEO, we will have the National Port Authority boss. That's Honorable Sekou Dukle. He is the managing director. He will appear on the 101 with the CEO to talk more about happenings at the nation's, that is the gateway to the nation's economy. He will appear tomorrow to talk more about his achievement and challenges there. So don't miss it. The time is 7:30 p.m. Liberian time. You can check the flyer up. It's on the 30th. So don't miss it. Be with the team, and the CEO along with Kaptama will be there to quiz the managing director tomorrow. So don't miss it. We will be in the back and making sure you get the quality sounds. But don't forget also when you are following us to send stars. Yeah, we we want to get your feedback. The more you send stars, that will also empower our page and team to keep doing what they're doing. So you can hit the stars button and send stars if you want to as a way of contributing to the network. Until next week. Okay, anyways, I'm not my school closed already. I'm on vacation, but I hope to be here next week Saturday. Nelson, thank you so much for
Yeah,
being
man.
with us.
It's it's been a great show, and
I'm
like
not
you
hearing
rightly
you, sir.
said, uh, but I think I'm okay here. I don't know why you're not hearing me. You can still hear me. You can hear me.
Hello?
You can hear me. But eh,
Oh,
no, I think you have another gadget on. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So the feedback was coming. Yeah. So I say I think it's been a great show. Like you said, our folks need to hit the stars, give us some stars on the page once we're monetized. That will further empower the page, and then we encourage the folks to share the program as well. We're across on Facebook on 3 Facebook handles: Spoon, Fabric, and Super. And in case you're following one of the pages and you're not following the other one, you can try to do so, and the YouTube as well. And I think it's been a great show. We look forward to seeing the one-on-one come on tomorrow. The NPA boss. It's been a long one coming. I think there was one edition of the show where we set up everything, and then some technical issues he couldn't appear. But the long-awaited show will be tomorrow. So you want to hear from the perspective of the NPA managing director what the issues are, what the progress is has been made so far at the level of the NPA. Come tomorrow. So until then, I think it's been a great show. We look forward to being here tomorrow. Have a good night, guys, and
Let us see you again. I will be here tomorrow. So bye bye.
yeah. So, folks, to our partner radio stations across the country that have been relaying the show, we want to say thanks to all of you: Premier FM, Trust FM, Kibi FM, and of course, Trend Radio. We want to say thanks to um, the folks online, all of you. I see Juma Jala, Ikena, Wenawe, Tommy Jr. Hey, the biggest chairman, Baron. Baron, thanks for joining us. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. Sunday got Abu, Bakar, Siddiqui, Angeline. I see Yama Thompson. Thanks for joining us. Sarah Jackson, all of you, Zias Carter, and John Eddy, all of you who always make up time to be here. Madam Marcia Snelling, thanks for joining us. Stanley Duma, Per Kimber, yes, thanks to everyone, man. We appreciate the fact. Daniel Bassabot Johnson, thanks for being here. Matu Williams, all of you who always make up time to join Spoon Talk. We appreciate you. It's because of you that we come up here, and we appreciate every single contribution you make here each night. So we look forward to being here again. Okay, you say I got your name finally. Yeah. All right, so join us tomorrow on another edition of the program. Spoon Talk will actually be back on the radio on Monday. Tomorrow is 101. So till we come back, I'm Nelson Collier. Have a good night and bye bye for now.